post that she knows that I'm almost famous. Neck bang bang, and we dangerous remaining. Time steady changing. I don't know these niggas, and I don't wanna know them. This girl just want that big moment, so she can blow it. That's bogus, but I don't tell her what's what. Don't wanna be stuck, cause she's so starstruck. Wanna be around us, but I just rather play the field, rather keep it real, rather take you out, rather tell you how I feel, and show you that this game is for real. Cause I know that you're in love, you're looking for a star. Walked all this way to find a man with a car, hanging at the bar, champagne, caviar. No, you never seen a nigga like this, like this. You never seen a nigga like this, like this. Girl, you never seen a nigga like this, like this. You never seen a nigga like this, like this. Girl, you never seen a nigga like this. So quit it, you spend seconds, hours, minutes working on your fitness for a nigga to witness. Go quit it, I ain't tripping. You ain't the baddest bitch I'll ever meet. The homie said he already be in the backseat of a Honda Jeep. For the loyal shit you can really keep him so cold on him, so cold on him. Few homies in the feds, cause bitch niggas done told on him. Seen them boys in the streets and did a lot more, just stole on them. Niggas know the pan when they feel the heat of that stove on them. Send the hell the Lord don't want them. Funny girls in church Sunday morning, Saturday was out hoeing. Show me a worthy opponent, show me a match. No nigga, I'll face mine. Now my mind, no hang time. That's MJ on the baseline. Girl, I know that you're in love, you're looking for a star. Walked all this way to find a man with a car, hanging at the bar, champagne, caviar. No, you never seen a nigga like this.
Wanna see my cars on flatbed. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour bionic glue, and got Superman powers with a trash new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
Greetings. Thank y'all for tuning in. Grand evening. Thank y'all for tuning in to this brand new episode of the Front Line Blacc News, Season 3, Episode 25, Part 1 of the Front Line Blacc News. I'm your host, Chain Crewman. Lady Che is also with us as well. Turn the screen so y'all can see her.
Oh, that's good. Thanks to that. Carry on.
Okay, and on tonight's show, first of all, we are simulcasting on multiple platforms.
Good.
But we are also simulcasting with the Arena Uncensored, Black Sun, MD, and Blacks in Politics. So appreciate the viewers from those channels as well. And on tonight's show, we were discussing several things. The first thing is tangibles. We're not letting up on them tangibles, Black family. This is the decade of tangibles. We're demanding something tangible for our vote. So any politician that's seeking your vote, black, white, red, yellow, polka dot, pink stripe, we don't give a damn. They're not producing tangibles for us. They're not getting our vote, period. So we're going to be discussing tangibles 2023 to tangibles 2024, really all the way up to 2100. And then the next topic is going to be President of the United States, y'all president, because y'all voted for him. I didn't vote for that senile, Sleepy Joe individual. Jim Crow Biden allows damn near 50,000, 500,000 Venezuelan, they keep calling them migrants, but they're really illegal immigrants.
Right.
Temporary stay and legal status if they arrived here in the United States prior to July 31st, 2023. So the invasion is in full effect, Black family. So definitely keep your heads on a swivel. Every day I step out of my apartment building, I see nothing but illegal immigrants everywhere in the city of Denver. So we're going to be discussing that. Then we got a Black teenager expelled in Texas school for ethnic hairstyle, i.e. locks. Need for Crown Act in Texas. We have one in Colorado. And now update on that is his family is now suing the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. So we're going to be discussing that. And then about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago now, Elijah McClain was killed by APD and paramedics and people that were supposed to be there to help him, but they ended up killing him. And we had several protests around it here in Denver and Aurora, because it happened in Aurora, Colorado. And finally, after 4 years, the killers, the ones that have been charged, because not all of them were charged, but the ones that were charged, the two former police officers, APD officers, are now finally going to trial in Adams County.
Good.
So we're discussing that. I didn't put ozone in the description, but we can. I'll probably say that for part 2, which would be tomorrow. Ozone, Otto Wallace verdict in Florida. The Gullah Geechie land under siege in South Carolina. The update, we have brought this up on a previous episode, that these developers, these white developers, are trying to buy Gullah Geechie, which is basically foundational Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery land in South Carolina, and drive them off the land. So we're going to definitely discuss that. Then we gotta define what is woke, because still people are still clueless about what the hell woke is. Those of us in the Black conscious community, we know exactly what woke is. But for those that's been sleeping under a rock or just eating Fox News propaganda and DeSantis propaganda, they have no idea what the hell woke is. So we're going to define that and what it is and what it's not. And then, I forgot a topic. The Democrats are back to their fear-mongering tactics to keep us on the Democratic plantation. You Jeff Farce and you Roly-Poly Martins and you Candace Owens. Oh, not even Candace Owens because she's a Republican. But you damn Joy Reeds, Joyless Reeds, and all you other Democratic shills, it's not going to work. You got a lot of black people with that bullshit in 2020. It's not going to happen in 2024. So we're going to be discussing that. And then last but certainly not least, we got our unhoused neighbor news and our unhoused neighbor sweeps. So this is going to be weird because I'm going to have to share on both. But while I'm pulling this up, greetings to our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankori, who is joining us from the Sin City of Las Vegas. How are things going in the Sin City? Shabaka? He must be on a phone call or something. Shabaka, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Sin City is Sin City. And then also, too, Brother Paris, I want to put another subject on tonight's show if we can. And we're going to be discussing it on Tuesday about how they're going to allow these transgenders to be cheerleaders for the National Football League.
Well, we'll put that on part 2, Shabaka, because we already got a full load for part 1.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so moving right along, Sleepy Joe is at it again, man, with his old shenanigans and what have you, as you know. Cop Mahler, was no better. And we're definitely stressing to our audience out there, man, when it comes election time next year, man, vote. For something that you're going to get a return on your vote. And tangibles 2024 all the way up to tangibles 2100. Okay, it's because they letting 500,000 more of these motherfuckers come in here. And quite naturally, of course, they're going to resources, from the general economy. They're going to blame it on us. And notice, people, that the more immigrants that they have coming here, the more that they crumb bum on black men being shiftless and lazy. Now, there's a definite correlation right there. What the correlation is being is that as more as these motherfuckers come in here, that's less job opportunities for black men anyway. So once again, the deck is stacked against us again. You see what I'm saying, black family, and mainly the males in particular. They're going to do more to shatter the black family unit. Okay?
Oh, this is the Democratic Party, Shabaka.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely.
The Democratic Party is to blame for this madness. I don't even blame I don't blame the illegal immigrants per se. I blame the goddamn politricians that allowed this shit.
Oh,
have
indeed.
been allowing this shit and continue to allow it. And then we got these goddamn Democratic shills like Jeff Fart and others that keep trying to keep us on this goddamn Democratic plantation. To hell with the Democrats.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, is looking like you would think, Brother Paris, that if you had some righteous third-party candidates, with the Black First agenda to pull away from these reptilians and these damn Democrats. You see what I mean? But that's too much like right. Also, too...
Something's up with your sound. Are you on the headset or...
Yeah, I'm on the headset. Why? Is it distorted?
Yeah. It's like crackling.
No, man. Okay, all right. Let me try to get the YouTube activated. All right, please continue until I get the YouTube activated.
Okay. So I'm gonna get it started. Thank you, Shabaka, for the introduction. So this is the year and the decade of tangibles, black family. So continue to demand something tangible for your vote. So back in 2020, our good FBA brother Tariq Nasheed came up with the hashtag tangibles 2020. And in it, he was detailing everything that we, as foundational Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, the people that built this country, are going to demand from the two-party system, both the Democrats and the Republicans, or the reptilians. So nothing's changed except the year. Everything else remains the same. So... There we go. Tangibles 2020. So I'm going to change 2020 to 2024 because that's when the next presidential election is. The 2024 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This, I gotta do it on the other end. Sorry. I'm on 2 different StreamYards, so I gotta share on both ends. Shout out to the viewers on the Arena Sister. Okay, now it should work.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. I don't know if they can see it on the Arena Sister, but
Okay,
yes.
first then.
Yes,
the
we can hear you.
2020. Okay, the 2020 presidential.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read it now. So the 2024 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are gonna reject the 50-year-old malign neglect. It's more like belligerent and purposeful neglect policy, but our great elder, Dr. Claude Anderson, calls it malign neglect, and it's been in effect since the Nixon administration. And basically, this malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms. Lumping foundational Black Americans into groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist, meaning in the 2024 election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our votes. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits, specifically for us. We do not want trickle down, secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups so often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And since it's 2023, it's Tangibles 2023. And next year, when the next presidential election is, in 2024, it'll be Tangibles 2024. All the way up to 2100, Black family. Continue to demand something tangible for your vote. Don't let up. Consistency is what these people cannot stand or tolerate or are prepared for. So we have to be consistent, Black family. Us here at Frontline Campaign, Frontline Blacc News, the Revolutionary Agenda, and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced have been consistently pushing tangibles for the past going on 5 years since Mile High News. So,
Yep.
And now 5 years later, our people are starting to finally catch on and realize, you know, we can't just keep giving our vote away. We can't just keep voting just to be voting, just to have something to do, or it's part of tradition. No, if we're going to vote because we have a tangible reason to vote. And all the fear-mongering in the world is not going to change that. You Democratic shills. And y'all know exactly who I'm talking to, especially those of you that are supposed to be our media representation here in Denver, Colorado, and you're anything but for us. But yeah, you have the audacity to have a Stay Black license plate, and you don't even identify as Black. So how the hell are you going to stay Black if you don't identify as Black?
Right.
Make that make Jeff Farts and your whole free think coon zone. Ain't nothing free thinking about that. It's a bunch of group think hypocrisy is what it is. But
Right.
that's what passes us media in 2023 here in Denver, Colorado. So we are definitely
yes, sir.
at war with these raccoons, these
Right.
sellouts, these bootlets, these fakers, frauds, and
Yes, sir.
phonies. Professor Black Truth calls them. And y'all not gonna fear monger like y'all did in 2020, talking about anybody but Trump. We just got to get Trump out, and we just can't have 4 more years of Trump. Y'all must have gotten deadly silently quiet. Did you get Biden remorse? Did you realize that you got your vote taken for granted once again? You know,
Well,
after this,
you realize you got your head bumped, as we used to say.
He was gonna have our back like we had his, and when all hope was lost, the Black community came up and stood for him, and he was gonna have our back like we had his. Yeah, he had our back all right. He turned his back to us and made us kiss his ass. And you Democrats, now y'all got Biden's remorse, just like you Democrats here in Denver. Now y'all got Johnston remorse. But we're gonna get the last laugh over here, and we're gonna continue to tell you we told you so, and you have egg all over your face.
Right.
And y'all gonna continue to be exposed as the Democratic shills that you are. You roly-poly Martins, you joyless, you Jeff Farts, and the list goes on and on and on. That keep caping for the goddamn Democrats, keep putting party over your race. Your party don't give a damn about your race. None of these goddamn parties give a damn about the Black race. They're not gonna do nothing for the Black race. So y'all can stop with the bullshit with this. Oh, well, you know, you can't vote for Trump. Why the hell can't we?
Yeah, we said there's an old saying, man, you know, from South Central LA, man, never apologize for how you honestly feel. Now, a dude like Trump,
bitch, I gotta get this part out, Shabaka. This bastard had the audacity to say if you ain't Black, if you got to decide whether you want to vote for me or if you got to decide to vote for me or Donald Trump. Okay. You ain't Black. You're not gonna try to tell us what Black is, because you're not Black, and you never been Black. And get sent from slave holders, Jim Crow Biden. So you stupid, ignorant Democratic shills that kept telling us, well, you know, Trump's racist, and Trump is this, and Trump is that. One thing Trump is not a descendant of slave holders. But you know who is? Jim Crow Biden.
Oh yeah.
You know who else is? Sambo.
Okay. Right. But Sambo, his ass would have been up there on the auction block if slavery was the law of the land.
Yeah, but either way, Shabaka, he descends from slave owners.
No, but they kept true that.
You gotta choose the less of your two evils, and Biden isn't that bad. Mr. Three Strikes, Mr. Mr. Super Predators with Hillary Clinton and all that. Y'all keep trying to get the Democrats are our friends. They've never been our friends. We have no goddamn friends, Black family. I don't know how much more you have to see that to realize we have no goddamn friends. Our great elder scholar teacher, John Henry Clark, taught us we have no friends. But y'all keep looking for friends. Oh, we need allies. We have no goddamn allies. We have no friends. You want a friend? Look in the goddamn mirror. You want a savior? Look in the goddamn mirror. The hell up. Enough is enough of this.
And it's coming to
what are your thoughts on Tangibles 2023 to Tangibles?
Oh, absolutely, man. Tangibles all the way up there, as you said, to 2100. No, to 20. To 2100. And what it is, too, is that we got to get our educational systems more intact, and we got to make our own educational systems exclusively for us. Because I went on there, man, on that other podcast that I told you about earlier, a couple hours ago, and our old good friend Bianchi was on there, and I had to go tell Bianchi to go fuck himself again. Okay, making
reality, I'm not fully on board with the Trump 2024 yet. But I'm definitely not on no Biden 2024. That's for damn sure.
Damn sure. Exactly. Trump's ass belongs in jail. He needs to be thrown right under the fucking jail, okay? Take away his Secret Service protection, but you probably would need an act of Congress of that. Okay, it's because if this dude, he's a former president, like our boy Sarge, who endorses, and Sarge is a diehard Trump fan, but Sarge is Sarge and what have you, but but hiding Biden is dangerous. Now, the difference between hiding Biden and Trump is Trump is telling you what he is. He's telling you he's a snake. He's telling you he's a rat. He's telling you he's a no good, dirty, low down, dirty motherfucker. Okay. But old Biden is coming to you with that slick shit, propping up Kamala Harris. Oh yeah, vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that was perhaps one of the most worst attorney generals and U.S. senator that the state of California has ever had.
Thank you.
That's why and that's why I'm so glad that I moved away from there, and I am wearing an NFL hat right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's Super Bowl 50 where the Panthers played, the Pony Express, and really
the Broncos. Goddammit, put some respect on it.
Okay, no, the respect is that the Panthers were supposed to win Super Bowl 50 because they played 50 miles away from Oakland. It was the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party. The quarterback was Newton, and his number was 1. Okay, so therefore, as far as I'm concerned, the Panthers won that game. The refs rigged it, and all that.
Even if full court didn't reflect that, Shabaka.
Yeah, and then, so they can give old Peyton Manning's ass finally a ring with his broke, battered, no quarterback in the ass.
Well, he had a broken neck, Shabaka. He came back from neck surgery, and they said, okay, here you go.
Yeah. And then I don't understand how Cam Newton is going to sit up there and fumble the ball. You see what I'm saying, on key plays. And so he just stands there. Cam
Newton's fault. He fumbled. If you fumble one football and the other team takes the ball all the way, that's on you.
Man, and then the cold part about it is up there, man, 50 miles away from Panther Town, the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party too. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Epic trauma.
Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced is based off of that.
Yes, sir, more definitely, and that's why we are upset about that. You see what I'm saying?
You're just upset because you don't like the Broncos, period.
Man, the Pony Express, man, them dudes need to go riding up there on a Pony Express to Montana in the heart of winter, man, and get frozen. Pony Express, man, you know what I'm saying? No, but don't worry, we got the last game to play, you guys.
You see what's behind me. You see what I got?
Man, yes.
You had to talk to Sarge on Friday and listen to that bullshit. And then,
God.
That's really what it is. It's just enough's enough.
Yeah. And then to make matters worse, earlier this evening,
are you going to be in a Raiders fan if they get transgender cheerleaders?
Sir, I have no choice. This is very, very disappointing. This is very, very disappointing, man. And I'm highly upset behind that is because what type of imagery?
You know where they issued that out at, right?
Where?
The Carolina Panthers.
See, now it's an insult to the memory of the Black Panther Party, man. Straight insult.
Whose side are you on, cuz?
But go ahead, Lady Tay. What are your thoughts on tangibles?
I was like, I was bug on this. Like, yeah, you gotta force his head. Like, I'm believing that fucking weird shit right there. And then you got fucking men. It's one thing to be a male cheerleader in itself. It's another thing to pretending to be a woman in cheerlead. There's some other shit going on.
Exactly.
But why? Like this fictitious fucking creatures. You know what I mean? Like the fictitious creatures in the NFL. It's already propaganda. It's already
totally.
It's already fucked up.
Totally. And then also too
Lady Che.
Oh, okay, that was the last thing. Hey, tangibles. Yeah, I think Jesse pretty much summed it up because we got a tirade. But I'll also say this. Look, we have to keep applying this pressure and not to get discouraged. But just remember, the ones that stand against us, you're getting left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no coming back. I also recommend that as we take this time out to watch both systems implode and then commit what I like to call political suicide with allowing this shit, let's go on vacation, Black family. I feel like we deserve one. I mean, they kind of made their decisions. So we kind of got a free pass to go explore other countries and, wherever they're fleeing from, we can just go in and out, just creep in and out. I mean, they already kind of like, they're not talking to us. I mean, we don't really want to talk to them unless they're giving us, reparations, crime bills, anything actual tangible needs. So, I mean, they probably won't even miss us. We can just creep in and out.
Oh, they definitely gonna miss us.
Yeah, they're gonna miss us. But look. Once you figure out that they fucked themselves again, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's too late. Where are all the Black people?
Exactly.
Where is our base?
And then also too, if I may just add in here.
We're just on vacation. Every job has a vacation. We haven't took one for 400 years.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Now, also too,
we took no vacation time. We've been going hard in the war. We didn't vacation.
Exactly. Yeah, so reparations is part of our paid vacation.
Right. They've been keeping our vacation money, cuz. Like, they like, fuck you, your vacation, your watch stream feeds, fucking, well, any of that
They've been giving it to everybody but us.
We understand you gave us in the first place, but we're going to keep it hoarded for ourselves and keep you a fucking kidnapped hostage just because you're our prisoner. Emphasis slave. So, you don't think we deserve after 400 years, you don't think we deserve a vacation at least 4 years minimum? Go. We're in America. We're fucked up by letting us be here. Born for the soil.
Oh, yeah.
We get
or
not just a fucking whatever it is, visa, whatever it is, passport. Dude, and you can literally get it in 8 days. 8 days, we could be out of here. Toodles.
It's taking longer than 8 days.
No, for I looked into it. It's like 8 days now.
Yeah. And then also too, on September 26th.
Trust me. Okay. The motherfuckers coming in, they're gonna look twice at us, letting us out.
Oh yeah. And then keep in mind though too,
they important in here can't fucking vote. They need us more than we need them.
Just believe. Let them figure it out. We've been figuring it out. We gave them everything to continue to fucking oppress us. All this shit they're holding to, all this alleged power. Just remember, it's Black people that gave it to them. Now we gotta get it back. Are we getting it back? Fuck it. Do we want? I don't know.
Well, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about on Shabak's Black Experience Enhanced on Tuesday, September 26th. The name of that episode is called Planned Obsolescence.
Black Americans, we didn't flee. We stuck and stayed. And we're the only people that have
fleeing, cuz. Vacation is not fleeing.
Cuz that is fleeing.
No, it isn't.
It's temporary.
Fleeing is how they left.
It's not permanent fleeing.
No, motherfuckers go on vacation all the time. My dad worked a regular job. He went on vacation.
Yeah, they give you sick leave. They give you vacation leave. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in 400 years of you doing your job, that means you're not required. You're not allowed a vacation or a break at all. Like we don't get the privilege of going on a cruise like everybody else does.
You'll get the privilege of doing all of that, just like we can celebrate and parlay and all that other shit.
What is the point of sitting
the system of racism and white supremacy, the global system, because there's nowhere on this globe that we're gonna go where we not have to deal with this shit.
I get it, but what's the point of
when that is defeated?
What is the point of
and replaced with a system of justice, and then we can do all of that and then some.
Right, well,
we get our reparations. We can do all of that and then some.
Babysit them.
But either way,
I'm thinking about vacation
Foundation of
time,
Black
brother.
Americans, we don't flee against this
How
country.
can you flee your country when you're from the soil? Like you can't flee your country. We're
Dumb
the
people,
United
the
States.
people that they're bringing over here are fleeing their country.
Yeah, their country. We're from the United States. It's a whole different thing over here. It's a whole different thing over here, Jesse. Look at it from our perspective, right? We're fucking all up.
Okay, well, see, first place,
I don't know how it's a whole different thing.
Because we're from the United States.
Still
they
racist
have to build onto us.
It's a racist white supremacist country.
They're the ones tethered to us, right? Think about it. They got embassies and shit in every country tethered to us.
Yeah, because America wants to have their business and everybody else's
right, shit. But think about it like this. We're allowed to go and visit other places.
Yeah, we can go
visit. We can go on vacation. I'm not leaving for fucking ever.
Okay, so when you go on vacation, because you're spending money in these other countries. Right?
Jesse, we've been existing for 3 years without really spending any money and not having money.
Well, we haven't been on vacation.
But no, but you say acting like
vacations cost money.
I'm going on vacation because
me haven't been on vacations because
and
they cost money.
I'm leaving.
They're not cheap.
I'm not fleeing because I'm not free. I'm from California. We don't flee, but we are allowed to leave and go on fucking tours and shit. Majority of
the people in California fled from somewhere else.
Pretty much.
I really see that. You stay here, baby.
And I fled from California to Nevada.
Jesse can't come. Jesse fucked up. He can't come. You gotta stay over here and babysit.
First of all, we gotta get a passport. Like
you can't come. You messed up.
All this sounds good, but
you can't. Hey, we
don't have the shit.
They came over here. We can walk over there.
You really think we're gonna walk over there, guys?
No, Jesse, you really just use your imagination, right? 400 years of fucking whatever.
You think that them other countries would allow what America is allowing Jesse, over here?
Why do I gotta go over there to be a tyrant? I just need a break. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fucking terrorize the country. I'm going over there to enjoy the country. Hey, I'm sorry you fucked up your shit, but I ain't come here to fuck it up. I came here to just maybe, fence it up, build some shit around it, but it's fine. I'm over here. I got a vacation spot. It's like having a timeshare. Your imagination. No, I'm saying. We have money because we're black. We can build anything from anything. Nothing to nothing. Nothing to something.
No, Lady Che, we built the world. We built the world. I gotta change glasses here. Ow, shit. Jesus. Okay, now. See, this is what happens when you get old, folks. You gotta have 2 and 3 pair of glasses.
There's no logic in this.
He's using his straight narrow the right side of fucking.
There's no logic in this.
I can't say the word because it's a bad word.
There's nothing logical about this.
No, because you don't use your imagination.
Because there's no logic in that. Like,
Jesse, yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
How do you think all these empires and shit started? How do you think it's happened? How do you think Greenwood and all that shit happened?
Separation,
yes,
segregation.
Yes. What happened? Right? With little bit of money, when they stood over here, if that, they created all this business, all these wealths, all this shit. Then they came and fucking destroyed it. Then what happened? We built it all up again. Then they come and destroy it. They would build it up again. Then they come and destroy it. Come on, cuz. This has happened for over 400 years. You don't think it's time for a vacation?
Okay, but it's an American tradition, though, Lady Che.
You stay there with the coons and the immigrants. I'm going on vacation. Ta-ta for now.
I don't know how you're going on vacation with no passport, but okay.
It only takes 8 days.
Okay, but what it is, though, is that we built this damn country, number one, off our sweat and blood and the brutalization. Individuals like Joe Gibson, punk-ass Pianki, other brain-dead motherfucker they had on that other show this evening, you know what I mean? Not talking about, oh, man, well, Americans, the Constitution, man, you could take that U.S. Constitution and wipe your ass with it, man, when it comes to black people's rights. You see what I mean? Because we don't have no rights right here. See, we were brought here as commodities, on the auction block. Listen to that song called Bitter Men by Oscar Brown Jr. That tells the whole story. He made that song less than 100 years after slavery had ended, I think, which was 1865, supposedly. And Oscar Brown Jr. made that song, I believe, in the year 1960. So the American ethos, and then the American ethos, is about killing us, having us destroy ourselves, okay? And I would debate with any ass scratchers, yassa bosses, coons, Pianki types, and what have you, Now, Sarge, well, he's a whole different story. So you got to be read up on some books with Sarge. And also, too, I just want to show the people out here. See, this is what I read right here. The X-Man. Okay. Let's see here.
We got Dinkin cracking up.
Okay, and then this right here. From
exactly. That's what I'm saying, Deacon.
Okay.
Yes. Sounds good, but we still got to deal with these mods.
Use your imagination.
Yeah. And then also too, a pictorial history of Black America. From Lerone Bennett. With Ebony. So we very well read here.
So when you use your imagination, then let me know. Let me know. For a year.
Yeah, we very well educated here. You say, so we do some studying now. Okay. And then also too, you see, and this is where in this book right here, I discovered some sad news. The pyramids and Sphinx. Okay. Now, in this book right here, Brother Chad, is where I discovered the sad news that Pianki and Shabaka were brothers, man, in ancient Kemet.
The pyramids and the Sphinx. Who is that by?
Yes.
Shabaka?
Okay, this is, I believe, this is by Desmond Stewart, Egypt under the pharaohs. Okay, and you see, we have illustrations in it like this right here. You see where they tell the stories in hieroglyphics. Also, too, the artwork. You see what I mean? And then you got other illustrations in here, as well. So here's Shabaka's Black Experience and Frontline Blacc News, and Frontline Blacc News right here. So we're very well educated. We know what we're talking about. We got research right here. Now look at this here, people. You see the details in that stonework right there in this photograph? You see?
Yes.
See the details right there. So how are these fuck boys, who came from what's that place? Greece, I think. Yeah, were they talking about that they did all this creation when they went down there and plagiarized, you see? And then, of course, they were all about taking little boys with them with their child molesting pedophile asses, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's their culture.
Women. Yes, sir. And then, of course, our women, gave the world the concept of feminine.
See Buck Breaking if you have not seen Buck Breaking.
Okay.
Y'all should definitely watch it. You can check it out on FBAstream.com.
Okay. Yeah.
All the other documentaries that you could be watching, all the Hidden Colors, all the Hidden Histories.
Right.
Haiti.
Right. Okay. So we're putting in a search bar here.
Buck
Breaking. Yeah. Buck Breaking. Okay. Buck Breaking the movie. Tariq Nasheed. Okay. And Buck Breaking, the worst form of punishment and gets the slaves. Now, here you go. All right. For our viewers out there, okay, hopefully you guys can still see me. Did you know white slave owners raped enslaved African males? Yeah. The quest by white slave owners to dominate Africans was so dire that they devised buck breaking to break and the intimidated and strong enslaved African males they have taken delivery of, okay? While homophobia cannot be countenanced in a civil society, the opposition to same-sex union must nonetheless be viewed beyond the lens of morality and historical.
Made up goddamn word. They just be making words up like
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a fucking made up word. They, like you said, Sabaka, they heterophobic. Like,
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then in Jamaica, as well as in other Caribbean states, the opposition to gay sex is in part due to the distasteful
yeah,
incidences.
because if
Where
you
it's,
recall, that's where they had them seasoning plantations, and
yeah,
they said that's where you go to buck your slaves. You send them down
yes,
to
sir.
Jamaica, and they
And
had a
then,
process called buck breaking, where they would
yes,
sodomize the black male, the biggest black male on the plantation, in front of
yes, sir.
his wife, his children, and the whole
Yes,
plantation.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's
Yes,
still
sir.
going on today in 2023.
Yes, sir. And then also too, I'm trying to pull this article up here, brother Che. And how would I go about to do this here? Because I got the
Yeah,
article.
we don't
Okay, do
we're
I?
kind of pressed for time, Shabaka, because we still got a whole lot of other topics to get to. But
Right.
to the viewers, go to www.fbastream.com and you can watch all of these documentaries. I don't want to say for free, but there is a trial. You can get like a 3-day free trial, and then
Mhm.
after that, you can start paying. You can pay for the subscription, and you can watch all the documentaries whenever you feel like it. But
Okay.
we
Okay.
used to
Okay.
screen these documentaries here in Denver, at the old theater on Five Points, the Crossroads, and then they came in and cut the screen down. So obviously,
Mhm.
somebody didn't want our people to get this information. So
Right.
they always gone out of their way to keep information from us and allowing us to read and write. We're the only people that had whole laws passed to keep us
Right.
from reading and writing, made it illegal for
Right.
to read and write. And
Yes.
23, a
Mhm.
lot of people
Yes,
still can't
sir.
read and write, and
Yeah.
that's just a damn shame, especially in the age of
And
information.
yes, sir.
So I got to get on to Sleepy Joe, or we're gonna be here all
Oh yeah.
night. So y'all president, Sleepy Joe, Jim Crow
Mhm.
Biden, that I voted for, is now wants to give almost 500,000 Venezuelan migrants
Mhm.
illegal immigrants, temporary stay and legal status if they arrive here in the United States prior to July 31st.
Mm, 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 mm,
Pull
mm,
this up.
mm. Okay, so what this clown is doing, man, he's up here campaigning
Well,
with
what
them.
he's trying to do, and the Democrats as a whole, as our brother Tariq Nasheed and several others in the New Black Media, and of
Mhm.
course our our doctor, our great brother Dr. Claude Anderson, said that these are going to be
Mhm.
buffer classes.
Yeah.
And what they're doing are bringing in these buffer classes to
Mhm.
stand in the way of us and the racist
Mhm.
white supremacists. Um,
Right.
so when we go to war, or when we start waging back, rather, because we've been in war for 400 or 500 years, we have to go
Right.
to these illegal immigrants to get
Mhm.
to meth,
Okay.
and we got to go through the coons.
Right. The ass scratchers and the yassa bosses. Yeah. Okay.
So, I'm trying to share it. Okay, there we go. I got my share screen going now. Okay,
Okay.
my cue. There's my cue.
Oh yeah, woke.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, but that's not what I was trying to talk about. This is where I was at with the queue. But
Mhm.
so shout out to Lisa Cabrera. If y'all haven't liked and subscribed to Lisa Cabrera, y'all definitely should. If you haven't liked and subscribed to Front Line Blacc News, what are y'all doing? Um,
Right.
You
mhm.
oh, that's why, so that's
So,
why it's so informational right now.
mhm.
It makes
so
sense.
U.S. extends temporary residence and work permits to nearly 500,000 Venezuelan illegals.
Mhm.
Prepare yourselves for it, Black family. So
500,000.
that bastard Peyton Gendron that shot up the Tops grocery store in Buffalo, New York last year had a
Yeah.
whole manifesto talking about the replacement theory and
Yeah.
how he was saying that black people are going to replace white people. But really, these illegal immigrants they're bringing them over here. This is systematically being done, black families. Government assisted replacement, and what they're doing is they're trying to undermine the black vote by doing this, because they see that we're very serious about our tangibles, and we're not going to let up. We're going to be consistently on them like flies on all the way up to 2100. So
just like flies on shit.
So to circumvent that, they think they're going to give these illegal immigrants temporary stay and work permits, and depending on where they're at, the right to vote. Now they've been talking about this for a number of years now, since Biden became president, that they've been trying to make it where these illegal immigrants can vote in like cities like New York, states like New York, and
that's fucked up.
They're not citizens. So out of nowhere, at the drop of a pen, right? Because they keep telling us we can't do this for you, we can't do this for you. They can do whatever they want to do. They don't want to do it. Without the stroke of the pen, Biden just made it where almost 5,000 illegal immigrants are now temporarily legal.
Now, and the cold part about it is, if they're going to do that to allow illegal immigrants to vote, then you might as well go on and let jail inmates vote too.
Well, in states like Colorado, jail inmates can vote.
Okay, in California they can't. You see? Yep.
So
you can't. Yep.
This bastard here, right, keep telling us all the stuff he can't do for us, and the Congressional Black Caucus keep talking about what they can't do. But out of nowhere, they say where these months can have temporary residence and work permits. Now, depending on whatever state or city that they're in, there's requirements for residency. So the way he's trying to plan this out is by most states and locales, based off the charters, you have to live in that city or that locale for a minimum of 1 year. Before you are able to vote in an election. So they think they slick. They think they're gonna try to undermine the black vote, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's gonna backfire on them, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why it's gonna backfire on them. Because historically speaking, a lot of these migrants, illegal immigrants, undocumented workers, whatever they want to call them, they're really illegal immigrants. So because they're breaking the law, they're not going through the proper channels to become a legalized, naturalized citizen. So they're illegal. So a lot of them, once they get on their feet, Shabaka, vote Democrat. Can you guess what they vote?
What's that?
Republican.
Yeah, don't be surprised about that. Then also, too, they're going to have programs to get them started in their own businesses. You see what I'm saying? They're also going to have not only
they all get handouts. Everybody get a handout but us, Shabaka. And these are the same people that keep telling us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. And we just need to work.
And we don't deserve reparations. You see, it's that same bullshit, man, that they're putting on us, man, ever since the fucking plantation system. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm gonna play this video, Shabaka. So shout out to Lisa. She's gonna give us an update on what's happening with these legal immigration, Biden allowing almost 500,000 Venezuelans temporary residence and work permits.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big portion of the crowd of illegals coming south of the border are from Venezuela. And the U.S. is already given them big bags of goodies. So the U.S. offers temporary residence and work permits to nearly 500,000 Venezuelans. The U.S. government announced Wednesday that it will allow 472,000 Venezuelans to remain in the U.S. and work legally for the next 18 months due to growing instability and unsafe conditions in the South American nation. Joe Biden's administration extended and redesignated the temporary protected status for Venezuelans who were in the U.S. before July 31st, 2023, granting them temporary protection from deportation as well as access to work permits, the Department of Homeland Security said in a statement. Homeland Security Secretary made the decision based on Venezuela's increased instability and lack of safety. There are about 242,700 Venezuelan beneficiaries right now that are getting this temporary permanent residency and also work permits. So they're going to let these people stay on. If they're giving them temporary residency, they're as good as here permanently. They are. You know, they're not going to send these people back. Venezuelans living in the United States could apply for protection from removal, the statement added. Look, we were born and raised here, and we can't even get any protection from these police and these unruly people that keep accusing us of everything under the sun.
Right.
It's amazing. They get sanctuary cities, sanctuary counties, sanctuary states, and man, we don't have sanctuary anything.
Exactly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the program was established by Congress for foreign nationals who cannot safely return to their countries due to natural disasters, armed conflicts, or other extraordinary conditions. The United Nations says more than 7 million people have left Venezuela as the oil giant economy has collapsed under President Maduro, who has been in power since 2013. The United States was among dozens of countries that rejected Maduro's re-election in 2018 as fraudulent. It first designated Venezuela for this temporary residency in 2021. Joe Biden has been under pressure for weeks from fellow Democrats over immigration. First, from several cities, such as New York, that have been overwhelmed by the number of migrants arriving. Many of them are Venezuelans. Now, Joe Biden was in New York this week, and Eric Adams, who was supposed to greet him because he's the mayor, didn't show up. So Joe Biden, because of the lack of support that he has gotten on immigration from both the governor and the Biden administration, he didn't even bother to show up to greet him.
Wow.
So, in addition, about 20 senators, all but one of them Democrat, they want Joe Biden to redesignate not only Venezuelans for temporary residencies, but people from Nicaragua. They want them to have the same perks that Venezuelans are getting. Isn't that amazing? The Democrats know how to speak up when they want benefits for illegals, but go completely mute when you bring up reparations. Nothing for the people who have been raised here, but everything for the ones that came illegally, committing a crime by crossing the border. So the senators accuse Maduro's government of human rights abuses. America, listen to me now.
Audacity.
Stop accusing people of human rights abuses, and you're guilty of it for centuries.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, this is becoming a standing joke. You calling out people for something you've been doing for centuries, it's just not flying. And I'm glad these other nations are calling you out over this. You know, remember, your racism is world renowned.
Yep.
So, including jailing more than 200 political prisoners. Okay, well, America, how many political prisoners have you jailed? I bet you it surpasses 200.
No, try about 200,000.
And disqualifying
2 million.
opponents.
Let's try.
From
Yeah,
running.
there you go. Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. These folks running for president, do they all look qualified to you?
Hell no.
Hell no.
America,
Them
please.
busters look like they need to be in
They
jail.
don't have a leg to stand on.
Right.
So you see how your Democratic Party is fighting like hell to make sure benefits are given to people that are breaking the law by crossing into the country, but people that are sitting here right under their noses can't even get reparations. I'm just saying.
Well, okay, well, on that, they hate us. You know, that's all it is.
Thank you, Lisa.
And that's
for awesome commentary. Go ahead, Shabaka.
Yes, sir. Okay, she had stated is that, and she said it in an indirect way, but I'm going to say it directly, is that they hate us here in the United States simply because they cannot be us. And like I said, and for your Joe Gibsons and what have you, you know, the temperature is starting to drop here.
Baby. Joe Gibson is a tether anchor, baby.
Oh yeah. And then what it is, he is a devout racist and he hates black people. And I think I'm going to join in with Lady Che to tell the people of the great state of North Carolina not to vote for his ass.
Right.
Yeah. No, Lady Che, you on to something there. It's because every time that I try to reason with them guys, okay, they always come to me with this ring around the rosy bullshit. Well, you know, blacks sold themselves into slavery. But what you dirty motherfuckers fail to realize and recognize that it is documented, okay, is that those who did the selling were captured as slaves too. Case in point, we force march 1,000 niggas down here to get on these boats. Okay, half of them are gonna die. So we got 500 of them left. Okay, put the chains on them, get them down there in the hull of the slave ship. Then they realize, well, you know, well, damn, man, we got like about 25 more slots here available. So go back and get the niggas who sold the first niggas in the first place and throw his ass in there, divide and conquer technique. And I will debate with any ass scratchers, any brain dead motherfuckers, any self-hating Negroes, white supremacists, Republicans, Democrats, you're all the same to me. Hell, if you can get frog face about the ground, segregation yesterday, segregation today, and segregation tomorrow, I'll debate with his old raggedy ass too. Get Kamala up there, man.
It's so bad if they pay us our goddamn reparations.
Yeah, exactly. It's because, see, what it is that we're going to talk about on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced this coming Tuesday, folks, of us doing for ourselves there, because we got to kill this sense of dependency on this American economy that's geared against us, becoming self-sufficient. Yes, we can do it, people. And then particularly, I'm calling out all the black NFL players to join in this as well, too. Okay, with the talent level that we have, we could form our own leagues, just like I stated, you know, on my Facebook posts. Hey, when you guys got transgender females in the NFL, I'm done with it. Masqueraders, Pony Express, Pittsburgh Steelers, you know what I'm saying?
How about them Gators? What if they get them?
Huh?
What if the Gators get them?
Who's the Gators? You talking about the Florida State Gators?
Oh, I'm talking about the Pirates.
Oh, the pirates, man, they can, man, that'll hurt me severely, man. They can't let that happen, man. I'm sorry. They can't let that happen. I mean, that they will kill our image of being pirates. You see what I'm saying? The silver and black attack. No, 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 no. We cannot have no rainbow colors. We cannot have no chiffons, or we cannot have no pastels. I mean, we're pirates, okay? They say, you know, there's a certain imagery that goes with that. Not some dude, you know, going around cheerleading, talk about he's confused. No, talking about he's a woman, and that is one confused motherfucker.
I want to repeat: transgender women are not women, just like transgender
Exactly.
men are not men.
Right, because you know a transgender dude to a woman cannot ovulate, he cannot menstruate, and he cannot bear children. Okay. And then, as far as a woman calling herself a man, well, says, you know, I don't think you're swinging at Johnson, so that there settles it right there anyway. I mean, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is not hatred. This is not bigotry. All we're doing is purely pointing out facts. You have human rights and you have the civil rights. You say, but there is no way in hell, okay, a woman is going to come up and tell me that she is a man. And there's damn sure ain't no way in hell a man is going to come up and tell me he's a woman with a 5 o'clock shadow. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, and I'm out of the $100 bills, but the offer's still up there that we've been saying for the last 4 or 5 fucking years that we will give you $100 to you transgender dudes who can prove your last menstruation cycle. Now, if the menstruation would have to come from you, and I'm not talking about the crack of your ass, okay? I'm not talking about your sister's menstruation. I'm not talking about your mom's menstruation. I'm not talking about, you know, your girl cousin's menstruation. I'm talking about you confused ass motherfucking men out there who call themselves women. Prove your last menstruation cycle. And when you cannot, then you may hit this PayPal account we got up here with $1,000 for Front Line Blacc news and miss us with that bullshit.
Right. So we're going to dive even deeper into this migrant invasion.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. And they letting all these people come in here from Venezuela, other motherfuckers that they got coming in, like what's that there, the Ukraine or Slavia, Serbia, and all that other. Yeah, all that
these
shit.
Countries, Iraq,
right.
All these countries that the United States has gone to war with.
Right.
Now they want to give these people a sanctuary.
Okay, now.
They ain't giving notice they ain't giving the Libyans sanctuary after they killed Gaddafi.
Oh, no, of course not. Now, the reason why they killed Gaddafi, shout out to Brother Khalil Shabazz, who's sharing a lot of knowledge on that, is because Gaddafi wanted to get off the standard of the U.S. dollar, which he did. Okay, he did not want to be part of the IMF, and he damn sure did not want to be part of the dealing with the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, but as we all do know, as our man there, Brother Double R, had pointed out there, is that the Federal Reserve Bank stole money from the Freedmen's Bureau, which was our reparations money. So therefore, you know, good bastards. Yes, sir. So therefore, you know, good dirty bastards. You hijacked our money, plus you owe us fucking interest on the money, and we need to compound it daily from 1865 when you know good bastards stole it. So yeah. $100 trillion in tangibles right there. So any of you sorry, no good bastards out there who hates niggas getting reparations, the number to call in Tuesday night is 516-418-5996. Press 1 to speak live on the air, and we will have you. We will debate you. We had a couple of takers on it. Okay, we appreciate it. Intelligent conversation. But they lost the argument is because they could not dispute the fact that when our ancestors were slaving on them plantations, is that money that they made, the slave owners did, they kept reinvesting it again and again and again and again and again. And then after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, after the Civil War, they still made money off of it. After the First World War, they still made money off of it. After the Second World War, they still made money off of it. After the conflict in Vietnam, they still made money off of it. After all the social media and bullshit that generates all the revenue, as of yesterday and today, they still made money on that. That's why the reparations is needed, is because our people on those plantation systems, quote unquote, gave you your seed money for a lot of your major corporations to this day. That's why we need reparations. So idiots like Bianchi, Joe Gibson, what have you, you're welcome to call in on that. Sarge, now Sarge, you're all over the place, Sarge. And one thing about you, Sarge, we disagree with 98% of the rhetoric that you espouse, but you've always respected.
I think Sarge and MD would get along just fine because they both on in MD. They both Trumpsters. That's fine.
And also, too,
I got another video to play, but I want to hear some words from Lady Che about this immigrant migration.
Now, you do know about the video that I had up there called Niggas for Trump, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Lady Che. What are your thoughts on the Venezuelans getting temporary residence and work permits?
I'm like, really, I think TVA pretty much covered it. You know what I mean? I think that it's not for nothing, right? And that this is like committing political suicide, where you got Eric Adams asking for it, the Biden administration giving it to him, and then the borders are wide the fuck open. So whatever, what was the number?
Almost 500,000 Venezuelans.
I mean, the numbers are real every day. I mean, every week, the numbers are huge.
We got just, thousands of them flooding in New York.
I mean, just not to mention, just in every city. When we look at our city, like that's all we see is an immigration, a lot of migration or legal aliens sneaking over shit. You know what I mean? So we see it, and the fact
we
that
literally see busloads of them being dropped off here every freaking day.
Yeah, like when I could take the bus to my house from here, and I'll go catch it at the little bus depot right down the street to get to my house. It's really just one bus ride.
And these mothers looking at us crazy.
They looking at
like,
us
what are we doing here?
But you know the difference is because we're FBA, you know what I mean? Like Black Americans here, we can tell the difference in what's a Black American versus Black Latino, Black African, Black diasporan. You know what I mean? We can tell the difference as soon as we see them. And we can really tell the difference when we hear them talk. Because, you know, like they'll get offended by us saying, oh, go ahead, pass, brother. Just simply say, brother. They get highly offensive. It's like offending them.
Okay.
Exactly why that Pan-African shit is not working. It's one-sided, and as long as it's one-sided, it's dead.
Okay. I see the reasoning on that. But keep in mind, though.
Hold on. They'll let the floodgates open with all this shit, but they'll let the ones that are so hostile towards us come in and just do whatever. You know what I mean? And they get free reign to do whatever. Hey, you get apartments, money, fucking a brand new stove. My shit ain't got no brand new stove. I don't even got a heater in my shit. You know, and the fact that fucking it's way too expensive. They let a bum park outside, and he's the one bringing the mice to the building. You think? I was trying to get off my sidewalk, and the motherfucking mice are running from underneath this motherfucker's house. Literally, an RV right in front of my shit. And I'm like, man, I didn't even think about it until I saw the mouse run across me, and I almost ran the motherfucker over. I'm like, look at that.
Well, they doing so much development where Lady Che lives. Yeah. Like literally a block away from her, they got these big ass high-rise condominiums that are opening up.
And on top of that, everywhere you go now, like when I take the bus, like taking the bus home, that's all we saw. First, it was the light skinned Venezuelan or whatever coming in. Then now, because we were like, hey man, they sent the Haitians back so quickly. You're black, you can't come here. They send you away. But no. Let's back that track up. They think that they're appeasing a situation by letting in the black immigrants from other countries, right? And what if it's not with hostility towards us? It's not. It's taking away from us. It's not building with us.
Mm-mm.
It's punishing us. It's like, fuck y'all. Y'all don't want to vote. Y'all don't want to get on board with whatever lies we're telling you, and you say you're gonna sit it out. All right, well, go ahead and sit it out. Welcome. All these motherfuckers start coming in, right? But they hate us because in other countries
they
still
strong anti-black hatred.
Yeah, they're still on the plantation.
Right.
They're way
This
with the
motherfucker's on
colonizer,
off my account.
and so they don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to go along with the program, right? They'll say whatever to get over here. Once they're here, they get on code with white supremacy, racism. So, they're not. It's not. It's not a good thing. And I'm just like, man, when we have our own people out here, we can't feed, or they don't want to feed.
They don't lock my account, y'all, just for sharing the damn show out in various groups.
When?
Just now.
Why?
We saw unusual activity on your account. This may mean someone has used your account without your knowledge. No, it's me.
Oh man, that's them and that bullshit. Okay, all right. Okay, see what it is that they need to be hauled into court for that shit, just like T-Mobile. No, just like
footage. You've been doing this shit for at least 3 years. We've been running Front Line Blacc News. Are you fucking kidding me? That's just God, man. Like,
okay, so then that means I'm next for the Bears.
Your activity goes against the community standards on spam. This was found by our technology.
You put it in whatever group that you got the haters in.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what
so
happened.
What you have to do is you have to be systemic with it. And then why is it that when we report spam in our groups, we don't even get no
now
response.
I can't use groups until the 30th, y'all.
Wait a minute, the 30th of this month, brother Paris?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's not too bad, man. That's only 8 days away.
All right, Jesus, Jesse, you spent longer time in Facebook jail.
Well, I stay in Facebook jail.
Like 8 days.
Yeah, last time I was in was for 30 days.
We were actually having to open all accounts. So it's like 8 days, really? Like Facebook jail? Oh my God, that's nothing.
That's the best y'all could do, Facebook?
You're right. That's the only thing.
Okay, let's put together a legal complaint of them violating the First Amendment of free speech. And you know who? And you know who I like to see?
My account.
Somebody did what?
Oh, somebody tried.
Wait, when was the 19th? Oh, Tuesday. That's when I was at your house. That's me.
Where's that?
It says log in near Denver, Colorado from Edge Chromium Base for Windows 10, September 19th at 3:40 p.m. Yeah, that's when I was at your house.
Yeah, that's my house. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably me. I get on on the Front Line Blacc News page. That's probably me. I'm an authorized user on that page though. I couldn't log on for the computer because the password changed or something like that. I have the new password. Yeah. Oh come on, cuz for real, I'm like a fucking partial owner of that. What are you talking about? Oh God, they don't want it, man. I don't want you to. That's my house. Yeah. See what they're trying to do, family? It's like they just try to get you to trip up with your own people, right? From a computer you use to broadcast your show religiously for years. We changed the password to just the password on the actual Google account, and I couldn't log into the fucking
So it's not like
the Facebook page. I can log into the Facebook page for Front Line Blacc News. I normally it's just saved on there and I can just go on. But something must have happened where we changed it. I didn't know about it. And so I just thought something was wrong. Like maybe I've just put in something wrong and it's saved on the computer wrong. So I forgot. And I forgot to just why the fuck do I gotta ask them? I can just access it from the from my tablet, right? So I just kept it pushing. Like I can log on, I could get in, right? Because I was gonna post something on one of the RBAs. I was gonna post on the actual Frontline Blacc News Facebook page, right? I couldn't get on. I was like, oh no, Biggie, I probably stood stupid and probably did something wrong. All right, I tried twice. All right, I don't have the patience to go do this old password fix again. Oh fuck it, I'll take care of it later. And kept it pushing. I just kept it pushing. I have my tablet. I could just do it from there, right? Instead of being on the main computer. You see what they try to do, cuz? They try to commit war against each other. And then we figured it out. I did it, my bad. That was all me. But that's beside the point. They shouldn't be doing that shit. Ooh.
Okay, so final thoughts. I got to play this other video. So shout out to Phil Scott. Thank you, Lady J, for that. Phil Scott.
The jail assignment?
Yeah. So
my bad.
our good brother Uncle Phil. Shout out to the African Diaspora News Channel. They've been around for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, they've been around for a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
President Joe Biden gave 470,000 Venezuelan migrants legal status allowing them to work in the United States.
Man, they needed, man, now that's what they need to impeach his ass for right there. So
ladies, we got to talk about your president, Joe Biden.
Yeah,
the man that a lot of you ran out there to vote for. Now, he did something that's all in the news right now. And I know a lot of people that voted for Biden are happy about this because this is what they voted for. So clearly they're happy about what Biden has just done. But before we get into, the meat of all of this, let's play a video when he was president-elect talking to the civil rights bootlicks. And I want you to hear exactly what let's just revisit this for a second because it makes sense what we're going to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white.
Remember this,
European. You hear me?
Yeah.
White European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who will make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do in terms of raw numbers.
The last thing that Biden said at the end
you see how
is
he
what
was.
we need.
Now those are the Democratic shows we were talking about earlier. This is supposed to be the NAACP and all these other bootlick and goddamn organizations that do nothing tangible for black people. They sitting up here letting this goddamn Klan fucking sending up fucking slave owners talk to them like they're slaves.
Right.
You're gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and you need to do this and you need to do that. And y'all still went out and voted for this mug.
You had to prove your black. Just because he said it, you had to go with it. That white man ain't gonna tell me I'm not black.
Want to pay attention to that black people gonna have to start working with the Hispanics because they make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do by raw numbers. So let's hold that right there. Now remember last night we talked about the insidious plan by the corporations through the politicians. The corporations always never paid for labor because we were the free labor for 250 years.
Right.
And we were reduced labor because they wasn't paying us like they would pay the white people, right?
Right.
So now we can fast forward all the way to 2023. This country's foundation has always been cheap labor. should always making massive profits, not paying much at all for people working for them. So I told you after the Citizens United decision, what corporations can give to your politicians, that's the one where you really lost your politicians, because now they don't have to do nothing for you. So your Walmarts, your Amazon, your Target, your Tesla, all the people like that can give money to both sides, and that's what smart people do, like the Koch brothers. They give to Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
So it don't matter what side wins, they win. You understand what I'm saying? They cool with losing money. They're fine with it when they gonna win. So then that politician got to do what the corporations want. What does the corporation want? Cheap labor. How you gonna get the cheap labor? Latin America and anybody else that's coming through the southern border. So with that in mind, let's get into what Biden has done, and which a lot of you should be happy about because you voted for them. They say the Biden administration on Wednesday offered nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants in the U.S. the ability to live and work in the country legally. So Biden just made 500,000 people legal. So you cannot call them illegal. They are legal to be here. Let's continue. They say approving a long-standing request from cities struggling to house asylum seekers. So those of you in Chicago, you just got more people that's going to be looking for jobs with you. New York, same thing. Remember what I said earlier? They're going to, and yesterday, they're going to lay you off or let you go for any little reason and hire them because they don't have to pay them anything. It's like they'll have to pay you. Remember, this is your politician doing this. This is your politician. Don't get caught up in going after the immigrant, because that would be the silly thing when you're not going after the politician. The Democrats is the one that's causing that problem. It said the Department of Homeland Security expanded or redesignated the temporary protected status program for Venezuelan migrants, allowing recent arrivals to apply for deportation protections and work permits offered by the policy. As they previously, only Venezuelans who arrived in the U.S. before March 2021 qualified for TPS, a program created by Congress in 1990 to offer a temporary safe haven to migrants coming from countries facing humanitarian crisis, such as an armed conflict or a natural disaster. So these people are here legally, folks. You can't say they're illegal. Now, at least not the Venezuelan people. They have given TPS. Anybody who have TPS is legal to be here. So they can work, they can get a driver's license, they can get a place to stay, they get all of that. At the stroke of a pen, Biden brought in 500,000 people. At the stroke of a pen, he could make every person in this country right now who don't have legal status to be here, he could make it right now where all of them will have legal status to be here. He can do it. Oh, yes, he can. Now, by redesignated Venezuela's TPS program, the U.S. is rendering the record number of Venezuelans who have reached the U.S. over the past 2 years eligible for status. An estimated 472,000 additional Venezuelans are expected to qualify for TPS, which has already allowed about 242,000 migrants from that country to obtain the status, according to DHS figures. Venezuelans who have reached the U.S. after the end of July will not qualify for TPS. Why? You letting them all in. So he's just about made well over almost 750,000 people, almost or so, legal. That's 750,000 people that got to get places to stay, jobs, food, all kinds of things these people have to get. And now they can do it. They didn't come in and get it the right way. They came in just to say, I'm a bum rush the border. I'm going to violate federal law. And look, they're getting rewarded for violating federal law. But let you or me violate federal law. They got a federal prison waiting on them. Black folk can't even sneeze wrong. And we going to jail. But they violated federal law because it's against the law just to come over here the way they come over. They don't apply for certain things. They just say, I'm just gonna bum rush the border. I'm gonna turn myself in and say, I'm here for asylum. That's the game. They go bum rush the border and say, I'm here for asylum. and then they let them in the country. Biden has been bust. Biden too, not just they put it all on Greg Abbott and the Republicans. No. Many people have said that Biden and them in the middle of the night take migrants on buses and dropping them off in cities too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Abbott. Abbott is getting a bad rap for it, but Biden's been doing it too. Only at night though, when all y'all asleep, he's moving these people all over the country. So he's not paying attention to it. Now, temporary protected status provides individuals already present in the United States with protection from removal when the conditions in their home country prevent their safe return. As Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said in the statement, he said that is the situation that Venezuelans who arrive here on or before July 31 of this year find themselves in. While others without legal status, they will also qualify for TPS. The announcement will mostly benefit the more than 400,000 Venezuelan migrants who have trekked to the U.S. southern border over the past 2.5 years as part of the massive exodus from the South American country. In recent years, more than 7 million Venezuelans, as they have fled economic calamity and authoritarian, most of them resettling in other South American nations, such as Colombia, which that should be place they all should be going, marking the largest refugee crisis ever recorded in the Western Hemisphere. Increasingly, more Venezuelans have left Venezuela or other countries in search of better economic opportunities in the U.S., embarking on a weeks-long journey that entails crossing Panama's once impenetrable Darien Gap on foot. The administration's announcement is an important victory for congressional Democrats and leaders in large cities like New York, who have for months have been pressuring the federal government to grant migrants in their communities legal status so they can work legally more quickly and not rely on local services. So something I've been paying attention to, and I want you just to look at the news. You do know there are Black people all in Latin America. You know that, right? There are Black people, more Black people are in Latin America than they are here in the United States. Have you noticed the people that's coming over don't look like Celia Cruz? That's something I keep noticing. When Black people are coming across the border, I'm noticing they're African, they're Caribbean, but they're not Afro-Latino, I noticed. And I was wondering, like, why is that? Why aren't they coming? So it leaves me with two theories. One, these people aren't telling the truth because Black folks are making it the best way they can in their country. Or number two, it is really true what they're saying, what's going on in their country, but the United States told them, don't you let them Black folks come over here, because we know Biden has proven they don't want Black folk here. We go back to the Haitians, like what they did to them. Biden put them on a plane and got they behind right on out of here.
Right on.
You talk about no TPS for Haitians, sent them right back to Port-au-Prince. So let's go ahead and continue. They say New York City, in particular, has struggled to house tens of thousands of migrants, many of them from Venezuela, in over 200 hotels, shelters, and tent cities and other facilities. It said our administration and our partners across the city have led calls to let them work. So I want to thank President Biden for hearing our entire coalition, including our hardworking congressional delegation, and taking this important step that will bring hope to thousands of Venezuelan asylum seekers currently in our care, who will now be immediately eligible for temporary protected status. That's according to New York Mayor Eric Adams. On Wednesday, the Biden administration has used TPS on an unprecedented scale, making record numbers of migrants from Afghanistan, Cameroon, Ethiopia, Haiti, Myanmar, Sudan, and Ukraine eligible for the program. Well, Sister Vicky Diller did a news piece on the African Diaspora News Channel that Biden actually, let me tell you about the Ukrainians, not only he gave them TPS, but he also allowed them to apply for Social Security benefits. Now, me and you have to work almost dead to get Social Security, but Ukrainians should just come in this country and get a check. She covered that story. You can go look it up on the African Diaspora News Channel. Sister Vicky showed the receipts of that.
Oh my God.
Now, they said the administration has also kept in place a long-standing TPS program for El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Nepal, reversing the Trump administration's efforts to terminate them. TPS has long been criticized by Republicans who argue it has been properly used to give legal status to migrants, some of whom entered the U.S. legally for indefinite periods of time, despite its temporary nature. The Biden administration, however, is internally resisted at times expanding TPS programs in certain countries, such as Nicaragua, due to concerns about encouraging more migrants to cross the U.S.-Mexico border illegally, as a generous immigration announcement. Now, they said they was asked, about whether they fear the expanded TPS policy could fuel more migration. The administration officials said they hope to dissuade Venezuelan migrants from entering the U.S. illegally by setting a cutoff date for the program in July. Yeah, setting a date gonna really stop people from coming over. Mm-hmm. Sure, right. Let's continue. They said the continuous residence, it's a date being at July 31, 2023 makes clear that individuals who arrive after that date will not be eligible for TPS. They said we're hoping to communicate that clearly. According to a senior DHS official requesting to be anonymous. They say during a briefing with reporters, illegal crossings along the southern border have reached record levels under the Biden administration. While they dropped to a 2-year low in June, unlawful border crossings increased sharply in July and August, testing a carrots and stick strategy the administration unveiled, they said earlier this year, with hopes of slowing down the U.S.-bound migration. They said the administration announced several additional actions on Wednesday to address the concerns of New York and other cities receiving migrants. It said it would expedite review of work permit requests for migrants who enter the U.S. at border ports of entry.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
And a program for Cuban, Haitian, and Venezuelans with American
Tay just passed me a vape.
The objective official said is to adjudicate those requests for 30 days, down from the current 90-day average. The officials also announced that the DHS will increase the validity period of work permits from 2 to 5 years for many migrants, including asylum-seeking refugees and green card applicants. The move, officials added, and say it's designed to cut down on the number of renewal applications, and said the agency has to review. Now, there's another article
the whites start to get
that came from New York City. We're going to be part of that article as well. So Biden has rewarded activity that breaks federal law.
The whites don't like when you fuck with the money.
And this is what y'all voted for.
But I guess some of you should be happy, right? Because at least he's a Democrat. But y'all had to get Trump out. So you got Trump out, and now you got 500,000 people competing for your job. And who will get the jobs? Them. Because your corporations are greedy for money.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. I have a business. I hire, people. I have staff. And if I was a greedy man, I wouldn't hire a single American either. Why? When you hire Americans, you pay a lot more overhead. You pay federal tax for them, state tax for them, all kind of insurance benefits for them, versus if you go hire someone, at least overseas, you definitely got to pay nothing. Or you hire one of these people like them that just came over, right? Let's say they can speak enough English, enough for you to understand. Or you hire somebody who speaks English and Spanish so you can talk to them, whatever, right? You will save so much money. Maybe when they'll pay one of you can get 2 of their workers, right? This is how these people think in this country. All y'all auto workers right now who's striking for more money, I hope this don't happen. But if you start seeing a bunch of Venezuelans show up, they're going to fire every last one of y'all. But y'all don't have a contract. Y'all don't have a contract with them just yet. So Biden doing this around the time y'all striking, auto workers should be concerned.
Everybody should be concerned.
Because they'll start shipping them right on over there. Because you think Ford,
everybody for the
General Motors,
every
they really want to pay y'all all that money y'all demanding in the new contract? When they can get them to do it for much of nothing? I'm telling y'all,
everybody,
y'all really gonna be mad when the Venezuelans go in there and get those jobs. But remember, don't get mad at them. Get mad at Biden because he swung the door open. in this country.
Yeah.
He did.
See what I
Because
said?
when Trump was in office, he kept them in Mexico.
Yep.
He wouldn't let them come over here.
Right.
He was trying to get rid of all that temporary protected status. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay? So just remember who's doing this. Remember, do not, I'm going to read this again, do not try to go after the immigrants themselves, go after the politicians. They are doing it. But now there's an article out of the New York Times. If you look at the headlines there, let's review this part of this because this is very important. They say, but several Venezuelans say in New York said they thought that the word of the work authorization extension would bring more of their countrymen here. Now you see the woman on the screen, that's the one I'm going to be quoting. He says, for sure, people will come to the U.S. Instead of Eli, it says Johanna Hairstyle, 32 years old. She owns a small business in San Cristobal, Venezuela, and who now works at a restaurant. He said there are already people waiting on the board, and they will come to continue to come. He said you can't live in Venezuela. Now the Giordano is a Negrin, 28 years old hairstylist from Valencia who arrived about 3 weeks ago and has been staying in a midtown shelter, said that more migrants would mean more competition for jobs. He said, I imagine that it would bring many more Venezuelans here to New York. They said, but there are already too many Venezuelans here looking for work. They said, trying to start a new life. Too many Venezuelans, too many Haitians, too many Dominicans. They said, everyone is looking for work. And this change is just going to bring more people. Now, I say, Mark Krikorian, they say, executive director of the Center for Immigration Studies, they say a think tank. Remember, this guy is over a think tank. Them think tanks help shape your policy with your politicians. He says he thinks supporting the supports curves on immigration, said that the administration's pattern of granting extensions would prompt many to take their chances at the border. They say, you Venezuelan, they said there is every reason to believe that you will be included in the next extension of TPS. It's 18 months from now. Now, Mayor Eric Adams, they say, who have been pressing the White House for months on expanding, they say, work authorization, called the decision an important step that would bring hope to thousands of Venezuelan asylum seekers currently in our care and who will now be immediately eligible for TPS. Now, a Murad Awadeh executive is a director of the New York Immigration Coalition, which also applauded the Biden administration's decision, pointing out that the Venezuelans who have entered the United States in the past 2 years are only a small fraction of the 7 million who have fled. They say the economically devastated nation during that time. The reason so many people globally are fleeing their home countries, they say it's not because of TPS, they say it's because conditions on the ground in their home countries are so deteriorating so rapidly that they are fleeing for safety. Once again, why aren't the Black people in Venezuela fleeing? Why? As I said earlier, either you're lying or the United States is saying, don't let them Black folks over here. Mm-hmm. You better keep them in Colombia somewhere. You better not bring them up here. We don't want the Black people.
Yep.
All right. So we want to go through all that to say this. This is what y'all voted for. Mm-hmm. Black people. Remember, you were not Black unless you voted for Joe Biden.
Black media told you
so.
so.
Many of you were Black. Now, Black folks in Chicago, Black folks in New York. Now, you got people
we told you
looking
so.
for work. They're legal. They're not illegal at all. They can be here. They will not be deported.
The Venezuelans.
So you think work is bad now? Oh, just wait. Just wait. They are going to lower their wages so much. Evictions are going to go up for American citizens, definitely for Black folks. Because if you can't get a job, you can't get anything going for yourself, you can't pay rent, well, guess what? You got a street to sleep on.
Yep.
They take it up the shelter, so you couldn't even go to a shelter.
Nope.
But this is what a lot of y'all
here in Denver,
because let's call it what it is.
All these so-called sanctuary cities,
Democrats have never been
it's our everyday reality.
Their immigration push. Just like they've never been secretive about LGBT, they've never been secretive about anything they're doing. Mm-mm. So you can't say, man, they hoodwinked me. No. They told me one thing and then they did something else. No. They've been on this. But you had to get that Trump out. Mm-hmm. Then you find out Trump was trying to get them on out of here.
Yep.
TPS, all of them. Say, hey,
Yep.
you got to go.
Built the wall
And all y'all wanted Trump out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand Trump. I hate Trump. Okay, you hate him. Fine. Well, open your arms to your new friend
Right.
in your city. Welcome them in. Say it's great for you to be here. I hope you get a great job. I don't care if I lose mine because they don't want to pay me. I hope you get the job because you deserve it more than I do. You deserve a
The
job.
ones they letting in here did not
You
come
left your
to
home.
be friends with
You
us.
didn't
They
fight
came
for
to
it.
replace
You
us in every
Right.
sense of the word
Right.
of replacement.
I guess y'all should just welcome your neighbors to the neighborhood. That's it. Some of those who voted
Yep.
Democrat, who voted
Education,
for the party that
entertainment,
pushed it.
economics,
AOC went to New York. This is last week. You remember we did this?
labor,
Last week they was talking about this.
war,
And a week
the
later it
sunset
happened.
help.
Right there in New York, people screaming and yelling about this. There was a video, I gotta cover that one. Now the folks who got involved in Staten Island, they were trying to block the buses from bringing them in. What are you blocking the buses for? Let them in. Oh, now because they're starting to put them in Staten Island, it's a problem. Mayor Adams told you it's coming to a neighborhood near you. It's
Yep.
coming to a borough near you.
Yeah.
You thought
He did
that
say that.
he was gonna go? They was gonna be dropped off with black folks at? Oh no! They put them over there with y'all too. Because remember, y'all are sanctuary city,
Tears matter.
right? Y'all
Tears
be
matter.
inclusive.
It's like white lies.
Don't be xenophobic. Don't do that. That's not the Democrat way. Not personally. Of course, you know I'm using a lot of sarcasm and all that, of course. But it's bad. It's bad. But what are you gonna do to correct it? You want 4 more years of this? Like I said before. Get 4 more years of this. This man will
Yeah,
have
we want the
another
first
20 million
four.
people come in here. By the time he get out of office. And he's gonna make them all legal. See, it's nothing but a stroke of a pen. He need Congress to do it.
Mhm.
He has the legal authority to make every one of them TPS granted.
Mm-hmm.
But he won't use his pen to do nothing for black
Years.
people.
Yeah, got him.
Those people
Got him,
who
Uncle
are legal
Phil.
now, they didn't vote for Biden.
No, they voted for
You
Trump.
voted for Biden. You stood in a long line.
Mm-hmm.
You were so emotional about getting Trump out.
So,
And you thought that Biden was going to have your back. He did not. You voted for other people from their country, fleeing their country, coming to your neighborhood, getting services that you pay for, right? That you can't even get, and now they're about to get the jobs in your community. You voted for Biden, and they benefited.
everybody benefited but us.
Will y'all learn y'all lesson, black folk? Will you learn your lesson? Will you learn your lesson? Will you learn your lesson to stop getting emotional when it comes to politics? You need to focus on who is going to do things that's going to benefit me. As I told you before, once you understand that the majority of the systems in America are the straight racist in its core, politicians are racist, everything has racism in it.
Yep.
Once you understand that, it doesn't bother you because you're comfortable within yourself as a black person. Like, I don't care if somebody don't like me. Whatever. Give me what I need.
Right.
I don't have to go talk to you. I don't have to feed. I don't have to feed you. Give me. Just give me what I need.
Right.
That's it. And y'all have to understand the concept of the
That's
enemy
the only
of
conversation
my
we
enemy
need to
may be my
have.
friend.
Mm-hmm. That's
Y'all
right.
understand because you're so freaking emotional and juvenile.
Yep.
I
Emotional
don't
juvenile.
like
Yep.
him. I can't stand them. Do you like your family? Do you like to eat? Do you like to have a place to stay?
Right.
Do you like to have a job?
Right.
That's the kind of things you need to be thinking about. Not if you like a personality or not. Who cares?
Right.
But to the new people who has gotten a TPS, welcome to America. I hope you get a nice place to stay. I hope you get a job and you know, maybe take your family on vacations and buy you some new cars and live a better life than what you did in Venezuela. I hope so. And many in the Black community support you, obviously, because they voted for Joe Biden and the Democrats. They wholesale slaves to Democrats. So clearly they support you, right?
Yeah,
Because if they
making a
didn't
super
support
point.
you, they wouldn't have voted for Biden, right?
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
But Black American people who
The X-Men
are
said, make it
finally
plain.
getting, and many, like I said, listen, I'm the type of person, better late than never. I don't believe in
So
condemning a
easy a
person when they
fifth grader
finally
can
see the light.
understand it.
I'm just glad to see the light.
For a
You
5-year-old.
understand? And your light has been open, your eyes have been open, and you say, okay, all right, look,
Now here is this kumbaya ass scratching
I
shit.
gotta get them Democrats out. They're hostile, they don't like us, clearly. You've seen that last podcast. So what are you going to do about it? This next election has to be a referendum on the Democrat Party, not just
Right.
Joe Biden. It has to be a referendum on the Democrat Party
Right,
for their anti-Black policy.
right.
Yes, the Republicans have anti-Black policies too,
Mhm.
but the Republicans aren't out here advocating and pushing 500,000 people in your city.
Mm.
And then remember, they said he granted another 240-some-odd-thousand TPS-2.
Mm.
They're dropping all these people off in the cities where you're at.
Yep, in the
You may not
so-called
like
sanctuary
Trump.
cities, the states,
That would happen
counties.
if he was there. At least your job would be okay. But I could be wrong. Maybe you cool with it. Maybe you feel that you need to sacrifice homelessness, lack of job, and everything else for the greater good of the Democrat Party. Maybe. Like I said, me personally, that doesn't fly.
We
It doesn't fly.
independent over here. We don't give a fuck.
I'm worried
Either
about
way.
my family, my personal family, and make sure they're good.
Over
I worry
10
about
years,
my community, make
independent.
sure they're good. I worry about my country, make sure it's good, because I'm living here, that affects everything I just talked about, right? So I'm not going to support anything that hurts any of those entities I talked about, or even hurt my business, or the people that work with me. Because Democrats are horrible for business. They're horrible. They overregulate, they overtax. That's not good for business. Not at all. The regulation and taxes hurt the small business, not the big conglomerates, like freaking Walmart. They don't hurt them. They don't even pay no taxes. But people like me will pay more taxes than Walmart. And I don't make nowhere near the money Walmart makes, a quarter.
You better
You know
not
what I'm saying?
owe, you better not
But
owe
let me know what
Walmart.
y'all
That catch
think.
you
Like I said,
stealing.
if I'm wrong in everything I'm saying, let me know in the comment section. You may be cool with your new friends that has been legally, have got legal status. You may be fine with that. But let me know if you're cool with it,
We're
or
not cool
whatever,
with it.
or if you don't like what happened. Let us know that too. And before I wrap this up, I want to put out a call.
We tried
If
to warn you. We tried to warn
you are a person that have always voted Democrat, always,
Mm.
in every election, even voted for Biden, and you have finally seen the light about what happened, the person in the Black community,
It took all of that.
and
for
you would
to
like,
see the light.
I would like to talk with you, like do an interview with you, like say
We had
this,
already seen it, and we like,
one for the hair interview, it's not nothing where I gotta fly out, but just something like that. I would like to interview. I actually like to interview Black men who feel this way and Black women that feel this way. We gotta get both of you on here, because it's one thing to hear me say it, but it's another when you say it, right? And let the people know what brought you to the point where you said enough is enough of these Democrats. Because I can't be the only one saying it, or those of us who are been saying it, but you can go and go to AfricanDiasporaNews.org, send me a message, go to the contact form, and let me know, hey, I'll be interested in talking about this. I'll try to look in to see who you are, try to attach. It's good for me to see who you are, actually. I don't like the anonymous things. So if you got a Facebook page, you got an Instagram, I can kind of look at. I like to see who people are sometimes, because we don't want anybody coming around. It's not going to be nothing live. It'll be recorded, pre-recorded, because I don't do live anything like that. I like to be, in case somebody have whatever happened, we can edit it out, right? But, let me know. Let me know if you're interested, because I would like to start interviewing y'all and let y'all speak, just what brought you to that point.
We would like to let you know.
Wow, you don't want to hear from me.
You were warned. You were warned. You did not.
Never listen. If you don't listen when everything affects you, like a bit affects you, then it's gonna be a problem. But wait till it gets to the other side. That's really gonna be a problem. And you were warned. Everybody was warned, but everybody just wanted to be on that old shit. And you must go stand in line, and they must vote. Just remember, you don't have to, and you could do the right thing, educate yourself, get on code with us, and sit it out.
Sit it out or vote third party.
Or vote third party. Yeah, that's right. But definitely vote the local election.
Local and state.
Yeah.
That's everyday Black family. That's what you really should vote majority of your time too. But unfortunately, due to the propaganda that we have been fed for generations, it does not equate to that. It's complete opposite of that.
Yeah. But you need to stay very informed in your local election. Because everything you're pissed off about in your local area, that's what you need to be focused on.
Right. And watch, this whole council will improve the shit because Johnson ain't made no mentions of overturning that shit.
No, you didn't. It'll get worse. And you can't tell her shit. You can't tell her shit. Well, unless you admit the truth, right? For one day, your idea's goddamn right. It's not our fault. You didn't do it all the way.
Okay. So I'm gonna rush us to the next topic because we basically done already covered it. But we got Biden, Obama, Clinton, proof Democrats, as we call them, Democrats do nothing for Black America.
No, they don't.
Strategists are warned about reports of Black men wanting to vote for Trump.
And they do.
And now we got the brother in Texas, a young man with the locks, expelled in Texas school for ethnic hairstyle. He got the original locks and it's braided up. And they've been harassing this young man. And now his family is suing the state of the governor of Texas behind the shit because he's been expelled twice, the son, just based off of that alone. So now Shabaka, those that's tuning in, there's a push to get this Crown Act going in Texas because we just passed.
Yeah, I got some comments on that.
It's not as exclusive as we would like because it allows for all kinds of shit apparently in our state that must can do with their hair, but it basically has to do with your hair in the workplace. But he's in school, but in the workplace they have codes on your hair. Like there's a reason why we have to have conks and perms and relaxers and shit. And turned out to be detrimental to our health. We found out later. And now they're harassing this young man behind his hairstyle, the way his hair naturally grows out of his head. They are trying to incarcerate this brother behind because it resonates. He's a Black prince. He's in tune with himself. He knows, who he is and where he needs to go. And y'all trying to shut him down based off of what he looked like and the way his hair naturally goes out of his head. So the Crown Act covers, so like you got those punk rockers with the shit, with the mohawks and shit. It covers them. Like it's not race specific.
Wait. Pause right there. It was supposed to be officially. Remember, it was supposed to be, and then it got perverted into this for everybody. That's why when we were talking about when he was running for mayor, and that broad fucking Leslie kept saying, "I put out the Crown Act." Blah blah blah. I was like, "You so what? It wasn't specific for Black people like it was meant to be, right? Because they were making men off their locks. Women could do all this shit with their hair." So they had perms and fucking straighters.
In the workplace.
Right? In the workplace, wherever. and make you feel like it was ugly to wear your hair the way naturally, however
Close
you
out
want
your
it.
head.
Right. Whether it be whatever, do whatever you want.
They don't
Right.
want they don't want you
So
to have that attunement, that
at all.
awareness.
So with that being said, they just come out with the Crown Act here, but it then got perverse to where the whites were getting upset because they couldn't dye their hair fucking pink and make their nasty little locks.
Oh, see,
and
they were
shit.
trying to make it seem like it covered all that.
No, initially it was supposed to be for Black Americans.
But was it race specific in the law?
No, they never said it. But initially, come on, we were supposed. I guess we were supposed to just read between the lines. I read between the lines. However, so did everybody. Nobody else read it like the way we were supposed to read it. Because she didn't write the language was never specifically for Black people. You know what I mean? Black.
So-called African
Yeah,
Americans.
none of that shit. So instead, it made the language ambiguous,
Mhm.
and thus why you had the whites and everybody creep in with their foolishness, thus perversing the motherfucking actual thing. So then they can have the loophole of fucking with the young brother twice. This is twice now. And with his hair. And the way with this one goes, like it's just upsetting. Like in general, it's just upsetting the whole thing. But I mean, it's like no excuse for it.
So I'm gonna play this from Houston, the local outlet out there.
Yeah.
Legal battle over a Barbers Hill ISD student's hair is expected to escalate today. The school says it's a violation of their policies, but the student's family calls it discrimination. Our Victor Jacobo has been following the story this week. He joins us live from Barbers Hill High School with more. Victor, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Attorneys representing the family of Daryl George, the student at the center of this issue, say they plan to file a federal lawsuit later today against Barbers Hill ISD. Now, George has been suspended multiple times and continues an in-school suspension after the school said he violated their grooming code for male students, which says hair cannot be below the earlobes or eyebrows or extend to the top of a student's shirt, even if it's worn up. And it was let down would reach those lengths. His mother and attorneys say the suspension is a violation of the Crown Act, a recently enacted law that protects against certain hair-based discrimination, which was actually sparked by Barbers Hill. In 2020, the school took disciplinary steps against then student DeAndre Arnold, saying he could not walk at graduation unless he cut his locks. He spoke with KHOU's Len Cannon about his thoughts about how the high school is in a similar battle again.
Why do you think it's happening at Barbers Hill again?
So Barbers Hill, they're very strong-willed. I'll give them that. They're very stubborn. They will do what they want to do regardless of what anybody tells them. Whether it be the Crown Act, whether it be me, whether it be anybody. They're going to do what they want to do unless they're made to do opposite.
Now, the school has maintained their policies are clear and laid out. And earlier this week, they asked the courts to clarify if length is protected under the Crown Act and that law. Now, in a statement, the district says that they do not intend to enhance the school suspension punishments right now for Daryl George until there's a ruling and that this law is clarified by the Texas judicial system. Kimberly, back to you.
So ugly.
A school in Texas is defending its decision to suspend a Black student for more.
Tabaka, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Come on. It ain't even midnight. Yeah, it's midnight here though.
Yeah, and I'm an hour behind you. You know what I'm saying? Now, what it is with this illegal immigrant bullshit. You see, they're doing that there. Huh?
Yeah. It's hard to fucking break the news.
Shit, they cut us off on the way now. I got disconnected on one of the. I knew something happened.
Oh man.
Now hold it down, Shabak. I think I got a log back in.
All right. Okay. Well, folks, definitely check out Shabaka's. Huh?
Hold it down. We gotta come right back in.
All right. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join us on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. The number to call in is 418. I'm sorry. The number to call in is 516-418-5996. And, press 1. We're more than happy to bring you on there. Also, too, you can Google our past episodes. Build the Black Experience from the beginning of time 10 minutes ago. And please visit our like page on Facebook called Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And then there you can inbox us there, leave comments, questions, words of encouragement, insults, which have you, hate mail, we get it all, folks. So you back in, Brother Che?
It's trying to verify some shit.
Okay, you still on air?
And look at him, he's like going out, like he's like, I fell asleep accidentally on part 3, whatever we were doing. I was sitting there talking, and I was like, yeah. And I swear I would be awake. He was like, look like she fell asleep. You got sneak dissing and shit. I'm like, I thought I covered it with the answer I gave. Everybody's like, I guess we're done because they just keep falling on and out. Shit. I'm like, God, man, what happens to me? I don't know what happened when I took I ate something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate something. I just kicked in.
The ice kicked.
I just kicked in. It was something stupid like light things like a croissant and some cheese. I just kicked it. I don't know what happened. I was stressed out. I don't know. Who knows? But I was like this. Yeah. And I started talking shit about something else. He's like, still talking. And I was. But I heard times Jesse fell asleep under the locs. They were like, cuz, at least let me run the show while you're sleeping. It happens, man. It happens. It's tough for you, but bringing the fucking to people who don't want to listen to us, but do want to listen, but don't want to listen. Say they're on code sometimes. And then when reality kicks in, they're not really on code with us.
Right.
It's hard. We're doing the work.
Right.
It's the people that are pretending to be on code, who aren't really on code when the time counts.
Right.
They're making it a little bit harder. So yeah, we get a little tired of shit. Stuff trying to leading motherfuckers to their fucking freedom, salvation, and liberation, and own empowerment. It's tough. It's tough trying to lead them off the plantation. Motherfuckers get tired. You gotta take little naps in between. Hey, sometimes Uncle Phil's voice, right? Lisa Cabrera's voice. Cabrera's voice. The Black Authority. Uncle Phil. Or that is Uncle Phil. Professor Black Truth.
Yeah.
Shabaka's voice.
Yeah.
Jesse's voice is like intoxicating for napping. Like you can't help it.
Is that why our views are so low now?
You can't help it. Sometimes you just be like, yeah.
All right, so I got another video to play on this. I want to play whole family, like they interviewed the whole family. It's a whole statewide problem, I guess.
This shit was like nice and put together. Acting like his shit was all mangled and raggedy, and he wasn't like all clean.
Within 2 weeks over his hair. That student's name is Daryl George. He's just 17 years old, and as you can see, he has his hair in twisted dreadlocks. The school first suspended Daryl at the end of August, and then just suspended him again yesterday.
All of this is despite a new law in Texas that just took effect. It's called the Crown Act. The acronym stands for, quote, create a respectful and open world for natural hair. And the law prohibits racial discrimination based on hairstyles. NBC News correspondent Rahima Ellis covers education for us and joins us now in studio. So, first off, how is the school explaining their decision right now?
The school says that they are following the student handbook, and the handbook says that students are not allowed to have hair extending below their eyebrows, their earlobes, or the top of their t-shirt. And it's important to take a look at the picture here. This young man's hair is up. His mother says he has not worn his hair long since he started in school, and therefore they're wondering what the school is doing. We have a statement from the school that says the Barbers Hill ISD, which stands for Independent School District, dress code is not in conflict with the Crown Act, and that's from the Communications Department. The Crown Act, as you were saying, Kate, it says that no one is allowed to discriminate against someone, whether in the workplace or in the school place, based on their hairstyle or the texture of their hair, and that includes, and they specifically say, that includes afros, that includes dreadlocks, and that includes twists. So, school is saying one thing, and the law seems to say something else.
And I'm sitting here wondering, does the family have a lawyer at this point or anything? Because when you start talking about laws, wonder if a family might decide to take some legal action. That hasn't happened.
Well, good thing you're wondering, because they do have an attorney who's speaking for the family, and who is saying that this is definitely something that the family is going to fight, that they're going to fight vehemently. As you can see, again, I think it's so important that we keep seeing this young man's picture, because it seems to be in stark contrast to what the school is saying. His hair is not below his earlobes, it is not touching his shoulders, but it is up. And in fact, we have something from the family, a soundbite from the mother, talking about the impact this is having on her child.
I want them to change their policy. I want them to stop being discriminatory against Black and brown kids. His grades of them, like they're going down.
She's on the Black and brown.
He's not getting a proper education. He's not getting a proper instruction.
I'd like to go back to class and do what I need to do to get my education.
Besides that, he hasn't been able to participate in any extracurricular activities, no sports activities, because he was
There's so much for one young person to navigate. And I want to just back up Eagle Eye here. What's the significance? Walk us through it of natural hair in the Black community, but also in general. I mean, it's no secret. I've worn weaves, I've worn braids, I've worn wigs. I'm wearing my natural hair now. There is some power in that.
Absolutely. And I think for this family, one of the things that they're shocked by is that this is happening to them, that a law has to be created in order to make sure that people are not discriminated based on something that they can change if they want to. My hair is straight, yours is not. But it's something that is natural too. It's also part of the culture. Hair is not just a hairstyle for African Americans. It's been something that's been used traditionally back during slavery. It was a way of braiding roots into the hair that would define escape routes from slavery. And it's also been a political statement in the 70s of Black power and people wearing their hair in a natural way. But it has not been an easy road for African Americans to determine how they will wear their hair, because it's been so often that Blacks have said we want to conform to a white European style fashion. And when people don't do that, it's
on that video,
Please continue to follow this for us.
Like considered what?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
Racial, biracial, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right?
Yeah, on the surface.
On the surface, right? But
ladies and gentlemen, we have an exclusive with you today. I know you heard about the story out of Texas, Barbers Hill ISD.
It's about to still with us.
Is it where you had the young man that was cooked? They want to kick him out of school. Let's say that much, for having long hair, even though they had passed the Crown Act to prevent those sort of things. So we're going to talk with his mother today, and Dr. Candace Matthews and Allie. So thank y'all for joining us today. All right. So Miss Darisha, to tell us, a little bit what happened.
So when he started school on August.
That's the mama.
16th.
That's the one that's on the
by the time it came August 31st, he was getting put in ISS for his hair. They alleged they seen his hair down below his eyebrows, which I have them on multiple occasions saying that they actually didn't see it. The ones who actually name is on a referral, which is Lance Murphy and Ryan Rodriguez. I have them both saying that they didn't see him, but again, they put him in ISS because they said when his hair is let down, it's below his eyebrows. So, but how do y'all know his hair is let down? How do y'all know his hair is below his eyebrows if y'all never seen it? So that's the first thing. The second thing, why is he getting put in ISS behind hair? When the Crown Act, it covers, he's protected under the Crown Act.
Right.
So that's another reason. That's another
you can't get on code
thing that I can't understand.
Texas.
So for people who don't know, what is ISS?
Come on now.
In school suspension.
In school suspension. Okay, so and correct me if I'm wrong, Allie, but the Crown Act protects against employees of businesses and school. Is that because just for people that don't know, you can give us an interpretation of that?
Yes. The Crown Act is an act that was put in place to protect hairstyles that are associated with specific races. They're targeting, of course, colored individuals, the African diaspora, because what they're stating is that this includes protective hairstyles, which are lock, braid, and twist. And so the issue with not having the Crown Act is that there's no protection for us in the African diaspora because it's not necessarily a religion. It's a cultural thing. Because, see, our spirituality has wavered. We've been uprooted. We've been taken away from our true religion. And so our religion is a conglomeration of a lot of Western civilization. Therefore, when we go to run an exemption, like other people, such as Punjabi, etc., who are able to run the religious exemption, it doesn't work for us. So the Crown Act was instituted to protect our hairstyles as well.
Okay, so the enforcement of it. Who's going to enforce this Crown Act? Because wouldn't your case fall in the realms of Crown Act?
Yeah.
So why isn't it being enforced?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you. The reason that it's not being enforced is because this school laid the groundwork for the Crown Act in Texas to begin with. They don't like locks. Is what they don't like. And we know that because originally there was a gentleman named DeAndre Arnold and another student. And they originally had a dress code against their hair. Once the Crown Act started to be instituted in the United States, and they started to see that hair texture was covered and protected styles was covered, then they changed it. And they altered their school policy to now say, when let down. So they added a length requirement to the dress code. Why would you add a length requirement to the dress code? Because you are still trying to essentially keep out locks, braid, and twist. Because if someone is going to twist, lock, or braid their hair, essentially it's going to have to be long enough for you to do that with. So in instituting length, it's just a pretextual way for them to go back to discriminate. And so that's what they're doing. Crown Act came into law in Texas. It was signed, and it was supposed to take effect September 1st. They started harassing him on the 31st so that he would be doing his first day at ISS on the 31st, going into the 1st, which is right when the act went into play. So what they're trying to do is say, no matter what you do, we don't want locks here, and we're not going to have them here. And we're going to find a way around each and every law or restriction so that we don't have to have them here.
Like Dr. Matthews, you didn't get involved. You know, when you get involved, people getting exposed. And so let's come on, let's go ahead and get with it. So I've seen you, go up to the school. What have you found so far with, so how you gonna find the dirt and do it?
Yes, well, first of all, I found some dirt on the superintendent. Also, the superintendent's been arrested.
What's the superintendent's name?
Last name Poole, right? Lieutenant Poole. So he was arrested because when his son allegedly was stopped by the state troopers, and the state troopers were asking him, in reference to, hey, you need to let us, talk with your son and things of that such. And he did not want them to talk to his son. And so he ended up getting a misdemeanor behind it. So that right there let me know that you corrupt. Because kid didn't do nothing. Why would it be an issue for DPS to talk to your son? Because I know if any law enforcement want to talk to my kid, you can talk to my kid and I'm going to be right there. So that's letting me know right there, one,
corrupt on that. Then another thing that I found out about this Joker was one, he knows the formula on how to not pay the state a lot of funds when it comes to the school district. So what he does, he goes to other rich school districts to teach them this formula, but they pay him a fee to do it. So my question is, are you doing this on school time, or are you doing this on your time? That's one. Number two is that they have an issue with black women. Okay, I'm surprised they have, and especially that principal over it, because it was also brought to my attention because one of my former teachers used to work at Barbers Hill High School for 9 years. This explains how I have the yearbook where it shows children that are not African American who have hair that violates their policy but never touch ISS. Okay, even when we were there the other day with Mom, and they had the communications director, Mr. Bloom, to bring his races behind us. And he was very, very, very confrontational when he came in. Because one, he thought that Attorney Booker was there. And I'm like, no, she's not there. You got to deal with it. And so then he was like, well, you know, we can't have it. No, the media is across the street. So this is what you're going to do. You are going to go talk to that principal and find out if this child is going to be an ISS again today. So during that process, that's when we were looking at the other children that were coming in, right? You see Asian kids, you coming in with hair down here. I don't see you and I. Like you Hispanic kids, hair that's like long, kind of like mine, past the ear. You know, I don't see them, and I said, but what really, really got it was that it was an actual white student that didn't have locks. They had dreadlocks, what he had. And then when I looked, I said, get that picture right now. Because, you know, we couldn't get the picture of the face because of confidentiality purposes. But we got back of that. And his hair, first of all, when he kept right, that's one. Two, it was past the earlobes and all that. It was past your collar. And that kid just walking in there freelance like it's nothing. So then when we ended up taking the picture, and so then by this time, the communications director, he comes back in and, you know, giving Mom the referral because she requested the referral a new one since you're putting him in ISS again after he completed it the week prior. I say, do you know that you have a white kid in here that got dread that's longer than Darryl was in? But no, I don't. And I was like, oh, well, here's the picture. Because, you know, I'm the queen of receipts. I had the picture. He was talking about, well, I don't know where that picture came from. That picture came right here from that door. Here's the timestamp. So why he not an ISS? Then he turned around and was like, well, maybe he has a religious exemption. I'm like, do you know he has a religious exemption? Because how do you know that Darryl doesn't have a religious exemption? So if his complexion, his protection, because that's exactly what it seemed like to me. And then somebody, no, it's not like that. No, yes, it is. It is like that. So if you're going to hold one kid accountable, then you need to hold all of them accountable. And then we start explaining, because, you know, again, they try to play that wordplay situation in reference to the bill. And he made the statement, well, you know who the author is, or the Crown Act, where she made the statement stating that the Crown Act protects protective styles, but not length and not color. And I say, well, let me educate you, because first of all, you are uninformed and you're ignorant. So let me tell you about it. First of all, protective styles, it deals with the length, okay? And then I just started, you know, going through, like I'm doing a whole dissertation, trying to explain to him about locks, about our hair, how the reason why we call it protective styles, you know, how we have to use certain products, you know, for our hair. Because, I mean, you know, I had not like, you know, when you just go over there and just put water on it and, you know, put some little head and shoulders and you go all about your business every day. We don't got to wash our hair every day. But we have to have certain products because we are the original people. Y'all came from a cave. We didn't. Okay, y'all was over there eating human flesh and stuff. We was kings and queens. So that's why you made. So then, you know, he kept on, you know, trying to be dismissive and everything. And, you know, I didn't get into my original mode where I just rip your head off. I was just dragging the racism out, just dragging it out so everybody can see how racist they are. And then from that standpoint, you know, when mom had something to say, he was trying to overtalk her. You know what I mean? Then mom had something, wait a minute, hold on, I'm not done yet. And then, you know, then mama do what she do. And then after that, when white people get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, they'll have that little grin. And then they'll turn around and be ready to go. Now, this conversation ain't over. I ain't done to you. Right. But again, he was like, well, you know, we can go ahead and, you know, this, you know, we need to continue the school day. And the only thing that I told him, sing your soul. Now, when you hear me say that in that calm tone, you better watch your back. Because I'm coming back with that hammer. And it's going to be a problem for you. So it was just interesting just to the fact how dismissive and how, you know, coming in aggressive, like telling us like we're gonna have the cops escort you out. The cops ain't escort nothing out. Because one, I'm here as a civil rights, human rights advocate for this family. Okay? Attorney Booker not here. You don't gotta worry about her right now. You gotta worry about her later. Okay? But it was just the fact that it was a surprise attack. They wasn't ready for us to come the way that we did.
And I saw that video. I saw him with his condescending attitude, and you know, we know racism when we see it. You know, they thinking just racism is just a slur, but no, actually the racism that he was doing, the being condescending, you know, just looking down on you, it's classic racism, you know, to me. But you know, sis, let me ask you a question about your son. How is your son feeling, like with his mental health and related to this?
He can't sleep at night. Every day he dreads going to school. He dreads it. He cries. Every night I have to look in my son's eyes and give him words of encouragement just to even get him to go to sleep. And then when he finally go to sleep and have to wake up at the crack of dawn, because that's what time he got to get up to get on the bus, he has tears in his eyes. And I have to give him words of encouragement. We're going to get through this. We fighting for you. And I think that's the only reason he's sticking through it, because he knows we're behind him. We're behind him. We coming full force by any means necessary. We're coming behind him, and it's messing with him mentally, physically, and emotionally. Like, it's rarely I see my son cry. Rarely. He don't like to cry, but he's been crying almost.
Does he feel criminalized?
Yes. He feels like he's doing something but don't know what he's doing. He's getting angry because he's getting punished, and he don't know why he's getting punished. He told me he feels like he's back in the slave days, where you get punished for the way you look, and which is basically true. He's getting punished for the way he looks and the way he wears his hair. He's not a bad kid. He's not disrespectful. He's not disrupting the class. So why are you putting him in ISS with students that's doing that? And now you threaten to send him to alternative school where they have kids that's really is troubled there? Why are you subjecting him to this kind of environment when he's not that type of child?
So on top of the, you know, mental health abuse that's being done by this school and discriminatory behavior, you know, racism, white supremacy they doing to this child, in the ISS itself, you know, Dr. Matthews was showing me a video, and this video was sickening to me. I mean, they do this to anybody's child, but tell people that could be watching, there's people all over the world watching, you know, a platform like this, let them know exactly what they're doing to your child behind hair. Not that he's beating people, he's being disruptive. No. Hair.
They making him sit on a stool. No back, no cushion, on a stool, a hard stool for 7 to 8 hours. He can't move unless he raises his hand to go to the restroom and get permission to go. He can't turn around, he can't adjust. He have to, in their words, he have to sit straight forward and cannot move, or he's getting another disciplinary referral.
That sounds like prison.
Exactly. And let me say this, it's physical abuse. Because when you sit on a hard surface, we all know your bottom's going to hurt. And this is not he's a skinny kid, you know? He's not a big kid by any means. It's hurting him physically to sit on that stool like that. And it's cold. They turn the temperature down. exceedingly cold in there. One purpose. Wow. Of course, you know, children can't wear hoodies. On top of that, you just get a stack of work. You get no instruction on how to do it. Nobody's teaching you. He's not been in class in weeks. In addition to that, he can't move about freely. And they're not even letting them eat regular lunch. They're eating sandwiches like prisoners did. One of the things I always do when I'm in criminal court is I move to get my prisoners out with. Because if I don't, you're eating a bologna sandwich.
Oh yeah,
And that is not anything that somebody wants to eat. I specifically, when I fight my cases, make sure I get them out. They don't bond, you're going to have to wait. Because that's not, they're getting a sandwich. They're missing their hot meal.
And New York.
And if they don't have money for commissary, I made them miss their hot meal. So how do you, and these are adults.
Don't worry.
How can you do a child like that?
You think you're white here.
And how can you do that when
they're gonna let you know that immediately?
They can't understand you
because of the school lunch program that he qualifies for. He's supposed to get free breakfast and free lunch, and it's supposed to be hot. Now you're getting the funding for that, but you're getting him a bologna sandwich. Now I can understand if, hey, it's around Corona time, kitchen is shut down due to educational restrictions, etc., FDA guidelines, you know, no boiling water, etc. They cannot make hot food. Then that means everybody is eating a sack lunch. And there are times the schools have to do that. Where if it's the free lunch program, the cafeteria is shut down, and everybody's getting sack lunches. No. The children that are not at ISS are getting hot food for free. And the children that are in ISS are given sandwiches. And here's the catch.
Just emotional vacation.
What threw me was,
sit back and watch.
We discussed this with school. When she brought it to their attention, they told her if she wants her child to have the hot food in ISS, she has to pay for it. Well, how is she going to pay for it when she has other children? She's a single mother, and on top of that, she qualifies for free lunch for a reason. So now you have a parent that you're putting through emotional turmoil because she has her child sitting on a stool, his butt hurts, he's in a cold room, he's not getting instruction, and she can't afford to feed him and give him the hot food. So that hurts her as well. It's very demeaning. And CPS has been notified and has been to that school on several occasions, and they are, to the best of my knowledge, handling that situation because those are not proper conditions, not only for her child, but for any child that's sent to ISS. Not allowed.
So the additional financial burden they have put on you, you know, and how are you feeling? Like you personally, we talked about him, but how are you feeling about this? Because I'm a father, and if someone attacked my kid, I get very enraged, and hell's gonna be paid for messing with mine. But how are you feeling?
I'm in mama bear mode. You know when the bears come out of hibernation and they go in protective modes because all other bears trying to kill the cubs? I'm in mama bear mode. You're not about to kill my baby. Not at all. None of them. And it even though it's stressful and it's aggravating, but I'm there. I'm his first line of defense. And you will not get past me at all. I tried it the calm way. Now y'all getting the mama bear way. Now y'all getting the meat. And I want to add, you know, she sits here today and presents herself well, but she just got the hospital. She's having seizures, just throwing her into having a seizure.
So you're having medical issues due to the stress put on your child due to him being black.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Not that he did anything just because he's black. You have to go through all this. Your child been criminalized. You know, when it comes to things like bologna and processed meats, World Health Organization states that you eat that as a guarantee you're going to get cancer. This is normal. And yet they're giving children processed meat like that as food. Like that doesn't even make sense. Now, Dr. Matthew, you know, what's going to happen with this? Because I know Allie going to come on the law side, but I know you got some foot to put in somebody's foot, especially like politicians around, you know, that area. Because I remember Barbara's Hill as well. played them in football, you know, back in high school, and they always had this racism, white supremacy vibe over there. So what's going to be the next step? Because you know, they should be messing with us like that.
Well, the next step at this point right now is that I'm going to be working with the state rep Ron Reynolds, who is the chair of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, and then of course, you know, my second hat that I wear is the vice chair of the Texas Democratic Black Caucus. So we're going to be working together so we can inform. Matter of fact, he's on his way to DC right now, so the DOJ will be informed about this. And then we're going to be working on trying to get that federal funds removed. Because regardless of the fact, one, you don't have to like us, but you have to respect. That's one. Two, you don't have to like the law, but you're going to follow it. And I just find it to be very disrespectful because, again, like Attorney Booker stated, the law, the foundation of this law was built based upon their ignorance and racism at Barbers Hill, right? They was the first. Now they are the first to defy the Texas law, okay? As far as with politicians, I'm going to hold them accountable. Even the one, if this is a bipartisan bill, why we don't hear no Republicans standing up saying something? So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. I'm going to pull that legislative scorecard of everybody that voted on this act, and I'm going to send the media to every last one of their offices because we need to hear what is your take on this child being tortured, on this child being tormented based on wordplay. You know what I mean? Like I even had a conversation, and it wasn't a nice one, with the author of the bill. Yeah, it's tight. You know, because there were some things that.
What is her name?
Read about. You know, we had a conversation, and I was wrong with it first. You know, I was wrong with the text message. You know, then I was wrong with it over the phone, and then, you know, I had to apologize, you know, for my delivery, but I'm not apologizing for the message because at the end of the day, it's like the way how we're looking at this, and I even brought this to State Rep Ron Reynolds, and I brought this to other Democratic colleagues. I'm like, when you look at the media portion of what was stated, you have one that the Crown Act supports protective style, right? Then you have that the Crown Act does not cover link, and it doesn't cover cup. So what are you saying? So you're saying that it's a violation, but the Crown Act, when you're dealing with protective styles, includes the link. Does it kind of make sense? And that is what Barbers Hill is using as the form of wordplay, dealing with the link. This is why you have this child in ISS. This is why you have a child that's sitting on a stool for 7 to 8 hours on end. This is why you have a child that's eating bologna sandwiches and being criminalized over wording.
Right, red.
There it is.
That's an issue. And so when you have elected officials that, one, that's not doing what's right by the interests of us, we know how to get rid of you at the poll. And I mean, now she may have said some things like on CNN, you know, she may have said some things like that, but State Rep Ron Reynolds was with us on the front line when it first got brought. I don't know about you, but if I knew if I was a state rep and that was my bill that got passed, I don't care what part of town or what part of the city of Texas or what town that I'm in Texas. I'm rolling up because that's my bill. We're not seeing it. Now, you know, I set up some things for the top of CNN and stuff like that, and, you know, gave her information to, you know, some of the national media outlets. But again, we were on the front line with you, ma'am. You know, we were on the front line. We were testifying days on end for 2 legislative sessions to get this thing. Don't you think the Kamala need to get a phone call? Right. Yeah. Senator Morris Miley did it. State Rep Ron Reynolds did it. We end up getting letters from both of them where they turn around and address the superintendent. Right when he got started, right when I notified them. They didn't waste no time. Senator Miles, State Rep Ron Reynolds gave condolences to the lady. Now, you the author of the bill. This lady ain't never told. So that goes to show that's the downside of politics. And see, that's why I come in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And hold you accountable. And I really don't care how you feel about it. Because I'm going to call you on your ass. And at this point right now, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. And then it was also brought to our attention that she's running for Congress.
Very question what you're being indoctrinated with.
So who going to do it? What support you gonna have?
Man, I'd ask. These are the questions I'd
If
ask.
you're not supporting
Why the fuck
this mother
district?
and
Why
what
the
she's
fuck you
going
let me
through
grow my hair?
with her and a
Why
child
the
and
fuck you
a
would teach me
mother
how to be
who
black
suffers health conditions.
in
I mean, to
American
the fact
Dream
where she has
as a
to
young
sign
boy,
me over
young
to
man?
stand for her.
Where the fuck is my daddy?
You
Does
think
he
Barbara's
have
here
any
don't
hair of
like
his
that?
own?
Oh,
Can I
that's
go live
like
in
a
his
power of
motherfucking
attorney.
district?
Essentially,
Why the
you have
fuck you do
times that
this?
now she's going
Why
in
am
and
I
out the
eating
hospital,
bologna?
and she's not going to be reachable for things. And it's taking a toll on her.
She don't look like she ain't eating no
And
bologna
so
sandwiches.
at this point, it's like I need
Keep
someone
it real.
because it's an ongoing
She
situation.
don't look like she's eating bologna
There are
sandwiches.
so many hearings and things that we're going to have to
Nothing wrong
do
with
and that
bologna.
we're already putting in place. We have to challenge even his educational
I'm just saying,
file
I don't eat bologna.
because
But
now you
great
have
news.
write-ups in his file.
No,
I
not
mean,
really.
it just goes,
But
it's
the
a rabbit
villain
hole.
has
It's a mess.
corrupted
And
certain
she
meals
can't
with spam,
physically
and I didn't know
withstand it
until
at his
after
rate
that.
because the
And
stress
I've
is going to
eaten
take
some
her
of those
out.
meals. Right? And I was
So
like, damn, this
absolutely.
shit tastes good.
Well,
That
is this
shit's good.
about? Is this? You can correct me if I'm wrong. Is this anywhere a violation of 1964 Civil Rights Act?
Absolutely. And so the issue is
She's like, no spam.
the
Oh
federal
my
government
God.
has been very
And I was like,
strong
what the fuck?
with Barbara's hearing what they think.
And it's a whole
You have
argument.
to say to her. And they told
So
them
she
they
has
took
done
it.
that villainous shit, yeah.
Even your link
What is
policy makes
spam?
no sense.
It's not
Because if
ham.
we scrutinize it, you
Think
can't
about
see
it.
a purpose
It's so
for you to have a
salty.
link policy
Mad meat
other
when
than
you
to
can.
discriminate. So we're going to have to argue
Whenever.
that this is discrimination
It stays
in
in
a policy. But they're at a standstill because the Crown Act didn't make it through the Senate, right?
What is it?
And Texas instituted their Crown Act. So when you would think that that would work, then you have Representative Bowers in all of her mouth saying things that aren't conducive to what she once stood for not that long ago. And for her to say she's confused, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it because I'm going to call a spade a spade. And at the end of the day, I heard that you flip-flopped back and forth. You never said you were running to be a part of the United States Congress because you're a state rep.
We had an apartment right above the bar.
And now all of a sudden, as of yesterday, you said you're running for United States Congress after this stuff comes out, but you have no money. And it's public information. Your campaign funds are extremely low. I'd like to know how you, along with the other people you're running against, would like to know how you're going to run for a United States Congress with no money. And why you're talking out both sides of your mouth. To me, and then you got bipartisan approval to pass this thing, so I'm going. I still a rat. And I felt like it was a rat from the beginning. I just needed to find the rat. And the rat ended up being her. Because to me, it made no sense how their stance was so strong with respect to when let down and it not violating the Crown Act. In my opinion, you can look at the legislative intent of the law, you can look at the spirit of the law, you can look at the law itself. There is no exclusion for length. So a protective style, if you go and describe protective style as braid, block, and twist, that's it. You didn't put an exception and say, the exception to the rule is length. If it's long, then a school or a job can institute that restriction. You didn't put that. If you don't carve it out,
why would she walk there?
it doesn't exist. That's the way that we interpret law. So there's no carve out. So how are you a legislator who sponsors the bill? You know all about law. There's no carve out. But you say it doesn't include color.
Yeah, hanging in here.
Sabaka, what's spam?
What's spam?
That was sent out by
Spam was
legislative.
Oh, well, you on the internet and they send you a bunch of bullshit you didn't know what you were interested in.
Oh, we got 9 minutes. Okay, I'll pause it.
What's your version of spam? As you know it today, the real honest version, what do you think spam is? And what's the good
Garbage. Nothing.
Garbage.
That's straight a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And somebody up there always trying to scam you with Cash App scams and all this. And then, of course, you got these high-tech crooks.
No, we're talking about the food. The so-called food called Spam. You remember Spam?
Yeah, man. When I was a teenager, that was very popular. It used to be a classic jailhouse dish, too.
Yeah, what was it, though? This is the question.
A combination of beef, pork, 3 other things. It's pretty much, man, it was at the bottom of the barrel type of shit. And somebody came up with the idea, man, that you can monetize this shit and the motherfucker did,
And bologna too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The little boy at school, this guy be talking shit about his mama. The whole commercial, the whole brief interlude with what we're showing, right? Talking shit about the mama, like she not eating bologna sandwiches. Clearly. Secondly,
what the little boy said.
Son eat that. He's a growing man.
Mm-hmm.
Third, if I was a boy, I'd be asking all these hard questions. These are the questions. This is what inquiring minds want to know. You know what I mean? Like, why are you here? Why you didn't raise me as a young black boy in America? Just you were triple K. Right? Being black as a boy, being black in America, then growing into a young black man, eventually being a black man. You know what I mean? Why you didn't educate me properly? Because he's asking all the wrong questions. Right? Why you keep me in this motherfucking bougie ass school system? Where my daddy at? And that's just and what was the other one? And why the fuck am I eating bologna sandwiches that are the equivalent of county jail? All right, and bologna causes cancer, and I have me asking the hard hitting questions
and being told I gotta pay for heated meals.
Yeah, I gotta pay for heated meals. Mama can't obviously feed me or pay for my meals at school on the free or reduced section. So what the fuck is really going on here, Mama? And why you here? So I could be fucking fucked with racially. And I asked to go to school. Why can't I get a job? Old enough. I can get a job in school. Dude, shit, this is like intentional. Like at this point, I almost don't want to blame the school. It's her fault.
Right.
If you put your kid in that situation,
what do you expect?
What do you expect? You know what's right and wrong, but you gonna let them. You can let them do this. If you knew that, why the fuck you let him grow his hair? You know what I mean? Like another hard hitting question. Mama, why you let me grow my hair? Only for them to fuck me. You tell me I gotta cut it off. Why? That's a lot of years of growth right there.
Right.
That's at least easily 4 years of growth.
Yeah, so there's 9 minutes left, y'all.
See, we're playing. I'm mama, man, mad at the mama.
We had in the state of Texas with your Senator Barnes Miles. When you look at both of their letters, nothing says anything about that.
You don't know about racism in Texas yet?
This is disturbing to us. Because, and I take offense to it because, one,
again,
I left my
this
family.
Just happened.
Okay, to go to Austin during legislative session to be on that front line to fight so we can get this thing passed, because I know the seriousness of this, and I know, one, when you're dealing with locks, when you're dealing with braids, when you're dealing with things that is such, this comes from the soul of our people. This comes from our ancestors. This comes from the connection that we have between our ancestors and also God. So if you turn around and cut the link, you're cutting that connection. So I really felt disrespected. I shared that.
And be black.
You know, she made a statement like, well, hopefully that we can work together, you know, in the future, so that, you know, how politics is. Like, I get all that, but right now I'm on this because my activism side came out. Because the only thing, like I said, that came in my mind is that baby sitting on that
Right.
stool
And we live
where
in
I
it.
seen the
So
video,
how the fuck they gonna tell us?
and that child
Right? You been to
eating
Texas,
bologna
right?
sandwiches
Yes.
in
I've
a
been to
cold room.
Jesse,
This kid's hair
I'm
is
sorry, but
perfectly
you're
groomed.
blacker than me.
This kid's
But even
hair
I know better.
is not past his earlobes. It's
That's why I
not
like the shade
past
deflect the
the
message.
neck.
My
And for
little
me to see a
58%
white
might
kid
not
to come
count.
up in there
However,
with raggedy looking dreads,
I
you
know
like probably
better.
had some lights.
I would
I
never
don't
have my
know.
son like that.
But the thing about it is,
Man,
you ain't
my
put
little
his
son go
behind
right
in
cowboy
ice,
hat, no, for sure.
but you gonna put a kid who
For sure.
freshly
He don't
have
know his laws.
his neat, edge,
He know
trim,
when he's
soul,
not
and then this is a kid who has hair
Joseph Lee, she
connected
didn't give
from
him the
other
racist conversation.
ancestors that
What
he
to do when
had,
confronted by a situation?
that
That's like
warmed and took his hair.
101. Keep your hands on the motherfucking
I'm
steering
not
wheel.
feeling. And I want
No
to be
sudden
funny.
movements. No, you didn't commit suicide.
I was
Now,
blessed to have mine
and
at 5.
I'm upset with
see, I got
dollars,
mine at
but then I'm
7.
kind of not. Because
Lee,
it was going to be a while
by my
before
brother's
we could
dad.
challenge
My
being
mom was a racist.
HISD due to the fact
No,
that
that's
we
a
have to
fact.
run through the
I
grieving.
got mine at 7 when the police
Level
arrested
1,
me.
level 2, level 3. Well, now
So I know.
you're making my opponent
Yeah,
and my immediate opponent the state of Texas right
here in
now.
Aurora.
Now we got to fight them because the argument is legislative intent, and there's still amendments that can be done. They don't need for a while. So what do we do in the interim? Now I'm going to have to sue the state of Texas and say your law is unconstitutional.
Yeah,
It's unconstitutional. It's not in line with federal law, right? Federal discrimination law. Enforce the state of Texas, and there you have to say one or two things.
The mama was outside, they was all on the concrete.
It covers length or it doesn't cover length.
Yeah,
and these schools have the right to do this, and they let the federal government rule. So now I have a short way, and we're going to get that lawsuit filed this week.
Beautiful black family.
And along with that lawsuit, we will be able to get an injunction now. And hopefully we're able to just get him out of all of the restrictions, ISS and everything. So thank you, Representative Bowers, for your mouth. I think that you did not realize the door that it would open for this young man.
They were manhandling little white girls.
And Mom, before we wrap up, I want you just to tell people, just convey the message to people, about the treatment
murderers, mass shooters,
racism,
walk out alive.
Just what you're going through, what your child is going through. Let people, the people all over the world is going to see this. So just convey that message, really how you feeling. No, nothing scripted, just how you feel.
So first I wanted to say what happened today, because Daryl actually got a message to me today. He actually was able to get past the principal and stuff today and got into his first period class. And everybody in that class welcomed him with open arms, saying, "Oh, we're glad to see you back." But no, like 5 minutes. He wasn't even in the class. 5 minutes. Here comes the principal Lance Murphy, pulling him out of class and putting him back in ISS. And everybody in that class was upset. They was first happy to see him back in class, and then he got pulled out. Lance Murphy intentionally went to his class to pull him out. And that's what really ticking me off right now. Because now not only is you discriminating, but now you're picking with my child. And we are very upset. And we're gonna fight this. And we're not giving up at all.
So Lance, if you can send a message to Lance Murphy, what would that be?
If I can say what I want to say. Woo.
Man,
Lance Murphy, leave my child alone. Because you about to get what's coming to you.
I think for me to say
and Miss Candace Word, you about to get in line. You about to get in line. We coming after you. By any means necessary. We're not playing with you. Not anymore.
Now you want to black
I tried it the nice way. I tried it the easy way. All gloves are off. We're coming.
Well aware of what's going on.
We're gonna box. And you know what boxes do. They tighten up the laces on your boots. What you better do. All of you better tighten up the laces on your
This should be common knowledge by the time
because we're ready to. Don't lighten up. Let's tighten up. TA, we ain't forgot about you either. Because first of all, TEA was also supposed to be enforcing it because you have the police power to stop the district from doing this according to this law. And Mike Morales, you ain't doing it.
You got mama that was on cold.
So
grandmama,
that hammer finna come right on over there to come see you in a few
Very much
minutes.
so.
So don't think you're gonna be throwing the foot.
Yep.
Because everybody finna line it up.
Well,
Clear about our kids.
Well, I definitely want to make sure that we keep up with this case. It's very important. You know, yes, definitely it's lawsuits. I know if y'all get through this, win this, take care of this, people over the country be calling y'all. I'm talking about, oh, you come over here, my
Where the
time,
hell
my
is
time. Like,
that
oh,
at?
it's overwhelming.
It must be in the pen.
We're getting that now. We're getting it now in reference to not even dealing with kids. We're getting it dealing with city council.
We can have a hot
Uh-oh.
We're getting it dealing with that, you know, with exposing corrupt politicians. We're getting it with the appointment. When I tell you, me and Attorney Booker, like, we are like extremely like busy, and I don't know how we can. I don't know how we manage this. And then we got kids too, and all our kids around the same age. You know what I mean? But that's not right. We make it work. We don't play. We want the smoke. All of it.
Well, Mom, you ain't in there.
I know.
You ain't in there. And we definitely pray the Lord, you know, heal your body. You know, y'all gonna go through it. You know, it seems rough right now. It definitely seems rough and tough. But you can endure it, and those who endure will have a victory in the end.
I might have got down with it.
It's gonna be all right.
I might go.
I know it's hard,
but
you know, you were chosen. It's not gonna break you. It's gonna make you better. And what you go through is gonna help a lot of people all over the world. They're gonna see this and they'll say, you know what? America wrong for that. Why are they doing a mother like that and a child? People over the world seeing the dirt that's going on in this country. They write me every day. Every day. So I know it's hard, but hey, you got people.
And she got the Freddy Krueger and Jason of corruption.
I can't say I won't do it. I watched you do it.
But I definitely thank you for taking the time and definitely, you know, to help and all of that. But I know you left in good hands. You know, so yeah, you definitely, you know, stay blessed.
He knows I like salty meats.
Sabaka, you still with us?
That bitch ain't missing no bills, cuz. That poor little boy, he's like, you might as well be in the county. He living like he in the county.
Yeah, for real.
He says he's not benefiting because he's not got no ends.
I'm gonna bid Sabaka good night.
Sabaka is trash.
Sabaka. Sabaka.
You see my camera?
Hey, Sabaka.
You see my camera?
He got the camera on.
He just put his head down in the book. How the lights get turned off? He's intentional sleepy right here. He did what I did. Turn off the lights. I'm sick. You see me? I'm in here. And pass out. It was like at one time when we were doing Front Line Blacc news for the house, I was really fucking sick. And I think who do we have? Jay was on the actual live.
Yeah.
And I just kept popping in and out.
We're gonna bid our West Coast correspondent a good night.
Yeah, good night, Black Cat.
Good service, sir.
Yeah, your services will be noted.
Black power.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm surprised you didn't hear like this. Because every time we fall asleep, I hear.
Yeah. That's definitely not a good look.
No, because it's good for a while though. So I'd have to say it comes with a.
Yeah, so I don't know, I'm kind of looking like Lady Che was saying to kind of support this family because it seems like they asked for this.
Yeah, I mean nobody's asking the right questions. If anything about being on code is always question everything, and sometimes you just need to ask the right questions that you truly want to know to get down to the meat and potatoes of it. And like they just real quick, like 2 seconds. I do this shit all the time on Jesse watches a show, as I call it, a show at 2:00 every weekday. Okay, and it comes out at 2:00, and that's supposed to be our media resource, right? And it's just a fuckery, okay? I call it fuckery. I say it's trash, but I've now denounced it as this is Jerry's after this is Jesse's version of Jerry Springer.
Yeah, it's Jim
After school. Like we come home after school and watch Jerry Springer and Maury. Right? This is like that for us. Jerry Springer and Maury was ratchet ass fucking afternoon entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, we're grown and we live in the community that doesn't recognize us or recognizes us. But when it's 2:00 between 2 and 4, Jesse's enemy number one. Ray, they definitely will ignore the fuck out of me. Yeah. And they'll stop fucking with us when they stop fucking with Jesse. So I start fucking with them. Right? But I had to deduce it too. This is Jesse's the conclusion is this is Jesse's version of Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Because they're cooning. Major cooning, right?
Yeah, they took the money.
And
7 donations.
What I called last week collaborators, right?
That's donation.
Right. So like that's what I'm saying. So these motherfuckers right here are like doing the most. Well, we can't let cooning stand. Period.
No coon passes given.
No coon passes, but no white supremacy passes off top. We'll ever be given to that. We don't do that. And we don't use broad and ambiguous terms, blah, 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 blah. But we're supposed to question everything anyway. Just being naturally curious, you should want to question everything. Period. Just be curious, part of having an imagination. However, this is the same people that they went on a whole campaign against an actual leader in the city, Black leader, right? Does active civil duties, right? So it's kind of like that. I understand. It's got to be
coined by
somehow.
The people leader. The people are coining me leader.
Yeah,
I'm the mayor.
Yeah, and to be honest, like this man won't do this shit in public. He only does it from 2 to 4.
Stupid ass show.
And when he feels triggered or he's around other people that he knows will co-sign his fucking fuckery, that's when he really wants to do it, right? So
he ain't shit without his homeboys.
Yeah, and so Jesse got
Conets.
Jesse was minding his own business as usual.
I wasn't fucking with that.
He wasn't fucking with nobody in there until something got out of hand, and Jesse always has to say something. Always, he can't just control himself, right? He just has to. And so these motherfuckers just keep feeding him the fire, feeding him the gasoline to his little flame, right? And then the little flame just grows out of hand. And then all of a sudden, shit gets said, this gets said, that gets said. And motherfucker said, you don't want to pick this fight. And then it's on and cracking because that's exactly what Jesse wanted to do. He just didn't want to actively go out and seek the fight. Because it's just not what he had in mind that day, right?
I just seen the individual recently.
Right, and he didn't talking all that weird
shit. I see
shit.
all these months like
a couple of days ago.
At least like on a weekly basis, yeah.
Yeah, so like, but Jesse likes to pick little fights once in a while. So he'll throw out a random fucking comment on his Facebook page. They'll start a whole fucking war. Right? But you fuckers will fall into it, go 3-4 rounds, call him a coon, and block him. That's it. Literally, 3-4 comments back and forth. Then he got into a fight with a real one who got the stamina for like 3 days. I don't like it. Don't make me do it, right? But we're fighting over the stupid shit. But this day, this is not happening, right? He's in there, so this motherfucker says some hot boy shit to Jesse. Then threatens him, low-key threatens him. Like, don't do it. You don't want this. Like that type of shit. And he picked the right topic. Of course we want that. Yes, of course we'll fight you on that. It literally will fight and debate about this.
Once again, we want to make this perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Trans women, trans men are not trans women or are not women, and trans men are not men.
Facts, right? And let me tell it, it's an act of fictional creation, like a fictional character, right? Okay, whatever. Call me whatever. I don't give a fuck. Now, of course, we want that debate. How are you, weird little gay man, going to tell anybody what's a woman? How are you going to sit and stand up
They
for
have
this?
a Supreme Court justice
and
that
stand up for the
couldn't even define what a woman was.
Yeah, and she's black on the skin side, on the top of the skin.
Katunji.
You know what I mean? It was a black name, kind of.
Katunji Brown Jackson.
Katunji, right? I don't know. Either way, she's not living up to any of this shit, okay? She's not living up to the beautiful skin she's in. She's not living up to a name she has. She's not living up to none of that mammy shit. She's not living up to none of that good shit. She got some old mammy shit. She clearly just divested from the brothers and went with the white man. You know, so she's clearly on that tip. She's bedwenching. Don't shoot the messenger. Just saying, right? So this motherfucker at this day picks the right fight. But I'm telling you, I'm like, man, come on. You know you can't just have Jesse be fucked with somewhere without me popping in and saying, oh, no, I can't have that. Can't have you saying that to him. Because, you know, it's going to backfire. And I'll end up having to fight your battles for you for 3 days. For no motherfucking reason, because that's how shit rolls downhill. Fuck all that. I would stop this shit now. Like, right now. Yes, sir, I want that fight. Yes, yes, we gladly want that fight. Why? First of all, you're a man. Gay or not. You could debate and say you're not because you had a baby. But you clearly got gay vibes. You on the spectrum, cuz. That's me saying it. You got the gays. Yeah, you really low-key, you doing it right. Shut up, cuz I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it as much. I don't want to hear it. Pink is not masculine on that dude at all. Some motherfuckers wear pink and you know it's masculine on him. He's just rocking that shit like that. You know he's a straight man. He likes the color that day, match or something, right? That motherfucker gay. Anti-gay.
Yeah, the DPS director.
Mm-hmm. Right? So, gay. Not to mention all kind of other fucking graceless shit, okay? But, okay, that's not here today. But how you gonna tell Jesse, right? That's how he gonna tell Jesse that trans women are women, right? And Jesse know what a woman is, clearly, but he came from a woman, black woman. He should know what a woman is. Given that, you know, we're on the nuclear black
out of a black moon, yes.
Right? So we know what a woman is, right? We know what parts make a woman, what a woman is actually in essence in divine femininity, divine feminine energy, blah, 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 etc. He knows, right? But fuck all that. I know. I'm a real girl. How you convince me? Make me a believer, motherfucker. Make me a believer. I'm not going to apologize, but make me a believer. Show me how it's a real woman. Really. Because I'm a real girl. I can breed children. I can nourish children. I can root children. You know what I mean?
And
I'm
you
in
can
essence
ovulate
with the
and
children.
menstruate.
Yeah. And plus, there's only one thing a girl knows when she becomes a woman and a woman tells her you're now a woman. You'll never have that experience. And, yeah, goddamn right we'll gatekeep on babies, the womb, motherfucking breastfeeding, moon cycles, i.e., excuse my language, periods. That's gross and nasty. We'll talk about that type of shit. But, you know, we'll say it in the lieu of grace. We'll call it the moon cycle because that's how I refer to it. Because that's kind of a gross word for me. I'm a lady. Say, regardless. Certain things I won't say. Right? But, come on, man. Convince me then. What's wrong with that?
They can't. They haven't took the bed up. They've been had the bed up for 5 years.
Yeah, they had the bed up. There's at least $100 in it. But fuck that. All right. I'll go find $200. You convince me that they're real women. Convince me. Because I started off a real girl. I came in this world, starseed, real life girl parts. I mean, they can only tell. You can clearly look. Their eyes were not deceiving them. I was a girl. I had one thing that girls have when they come into the world, right? Little boys got one thing that defines them. They come into the world, right? Little boys, little girl, because I have a little girl. I have girl stuff all inside. You can run that beautiful fucking scanner. I'm a girl, right? What you talking about in this fucking imaginative world we live in today? I was a girl. So you show me, convince me, Auntie, $200. You convince me I was a real woman. Take that pencil, Chubbs. We got your money. I'll go find my $200.
Why are you spending public money?
Yeah, you spend public money. Go ahead and dip into that too, and go ahead and prove how trans women are real women, and we're talking about the whole thing. Show me, make me a believer, because I can bring real children. I can bring them into the world, from the universe into the world. The oven works fine. Yeah, I just turn it on whenever I feel like it. The oven works fine, right? Whenever it's in my divine fucking energy to bring a child in the world. However, I want to see how trans women are real women. Show me how this falsehood is a reality. Now I don't want to hear the hormonal shit. You gotta take pills and juice injections, and you gotta keep your motherfucking shit open up with actual materials, because it just won't stay a vaginal canal. You gotta actually keep that motherfucker open. We ain't gotta do all that. But hey, look, snatchback is a real thing. Grip is a real thing. Sorry, you can't even fake that. The leg meat will not grip the dick, cuz. Let's just keep it real. Okay? I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You can flip that shit, cut it open, stretch it out, tuck it in. Look, there's no gripping, no dick, cuz. So that right there off top disqualifies you. Right? Off top. You ain't got no snatchback. You ain't got no grip. Don't kill the messenger. Don't be mad either. That's just what it is. So first thing, you ain't got no, Prince said it first. Beat control, okay? A little vulgar word. I always say it with Jesse. I'm playing around with Jesse and nobody else can hear me, okay? I always say some shit like that. But it's a 5-letter word. It starts with P and ends with E. The sounds like E, you know what I mean? But it's a Y. Okay? So use your imagination, 5 letters, right? Control. That means you ain't got no grip. That means you can't kegel. That means you can't kegel on command when you want to, when it feels right. You just can't. Not my fault. It's not meant for you, weirdo. Because if it was meant for you, you'd be a girl. No, but show me. Just show me. Show me. Make me a believer. Make me a believer. Is the baby going to come down the fucking birth canal? Because that's the way they come in the world. Yeah, there might be some complications. You might have to cut it out. Like cut a little edge. But they're coming down. It's coming down, okay? From up here to down.
Into something that doesn't exist.
Right. So show me. Show me, though. Show me. Please. I'll shut up. Hey, I'll gladly give you my $200. Make me a believer.
They don't have a womb for a baby.
No, I don't care what kind of fake shit you make into a womb. Some kind of cadaver piece of another fucking thing you're all Frankenstein pieced together type shit. That's not a woman either. A woman comes in the world, the spirit is a girl. Men, right? Isn't it right? Men are the ones that predict the gender, right? Men's are the ones, right? We got the egg, but you're the one, the defining factor of the gender, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, bet. So, do you think the man that shot the wad decided you were going to be an anomaly?
No.
No. He shot the wad thinking you're going to be a boy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be so proud. Maybe whatever happened between him and then and now, whatever, you were meant to be a boy. But you want to play pretend. Now you want to be a girl.
They want to bring this two-spirit shit up and this.
Yeah, fuck all that. That's not a reality. Reality. Or Generation X. Reality. I'm having a baby. I look at the baby's private parts. There's either one is full blown showing and you gotta put something over it because it pee in your face. Or the other one is
we start off let's say that we all start off as women.
Because in the womb, everybody looks like a tadpole. You start off swimming to the egg. Everybody looks the same. After I think it's after 3 months, 3-4 months, I think that's when you start to your body starts to edge out. You start forming little hands and feet and shit. You know what I mean? But that's not either way. Up until then, as soon as it's defined and the motherfucking they can say, oh God, he look like he gonna be packing. No, that's a girl. That's what it is. Use a girl in there. If you wanted to change up, you had a good fucking 3-4 months to get rid to do that. You know what I mean? If you want to believe that we choose our villainous pod to come into, right? You could have changed it up then. You came in the world. This is your choice. Rock with it. If you want to go under that route. But you still got to make me a believer. I want to see evidence. Shit, I'll take the Pepsi challenge. Shit, a real girl, a real woman has 15 to 30 days to prove it. And 15 to 35 days to prove it. So let's find your villain, put him up to the test. I got $200 on it. Make me a believer that's a real woman. Simple as that. Real shit. A real woman will have a cycle or ovulate or something. Something real will happen in a real woman throughout the throughout the day, the cycle of the month. Or no, am I wrong?
You're a woman. I don't think you're wrong.
You see though, you've seen women though.
Yeah.
You had a mother,
and
a grandmama,
and a grandmama, and an auntie.
And an auntie, right? So, at any given point in time in the month, some actual woman shit will happen. It kind of throws everything off a little bit.
Yes.
Right? And that's a woman thing.
Yep.
It can't be created. It just happens. Right? So yeah, make me a believer. Shit, show me. Shit. Pick your weapon. If the duel is on, show me, motherfucker. I got 200 on it. I'll find it. I don't give a fuck what I gotta do. I got at least $300 or $400 worth of jewelry on me right now. I could come up with $200 easily. Let me go find it. I'll put my money where my mouth is. Show me shit. Please show me. Because the next time you call him a bigot, I'm like, well, how you gonna prove that?
Well, that's why Justin ain't been back. Lady Terrence distracting us, but
no, I'm not. I'm telling the truth. Because that's what started it. Remember? They always talking shit to us. They called you racist. Did they call you racist yesterday?
Racist and bigoted, yeah.
Yeah. The bigot. You're racist. No. You're ignorant and off code.
Right.
And stupid.
Yep.
And obviously guilty of something.
Yep.
And you really are a problem.
Right.
So, come on now. We're just dumb for trying to believe in you. How about that?
Right.
Not a bigot, not a racist.
You're not a pillar in our community.
Yeah, just trying to believe in you because you're supposed to be our elders, our brothers, but really co-collaborators
of our destruction.
Yeah, enemy, treasonous, fucking villainous shit.
Yeah. And
you don't like it. And butt broken.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck. What you gonna do about it? However, they said, but they kind of alluded to it. But I'm like, cuz.
But Hashem.
I'm like, you gonna allude to something, but you ain't gonna act on it.
Right.
Because you know where everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
So they gonna live like, oh, we're like, I
mean, we're all in the same city.
Yeah, we're all in the same city, but not to mention, dude, the fact that you don't have no integrity as a person, and you the motherfucker shame you outright do it, it's because secretly they're jealous of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a freeing thing when you're so fucking empowered, man, to be black, to say you're black, to be feeling that it's okay to be black. Not even okay. It's fucking right. You know what I mean? It's right. You just feel good about it. You ain't got to explain why. You just rocking with it. You just being you. right? Crept off the motherfucking plantation, kept it pushing.
Unapologetically,
right? And you're doing good shit. So yeah, motherfuckers are really good. They're really on their soapbox hating, long distance hating, right? Even right in front of you, hate you, right? And so they'll go and put up, what was it, like 15 million? What was the outright number?
15 million, I guess.
15 million and like 17 people to shut you down.
20.
No, but ultimately we know who's gonna run, right? So like what, 15 to be like 14, 15 people, right? Something like that.
Well, 16 make the ballot.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
I'm doing with the semantics, gotta stay on the right thing. But you know where I'm going with this, right? 15 million, let's say 15 people, all to shut your black ass down.
Yep.
Only to steal your ideas, right?
Remember
and
you
they call
it.
you.
Remember you called it with the Hancock State of the City address.
Yeah. He was talking to us. And what happened with him too? What did he do when he seen us?
Daps and hugs.
Yeah, and then went on to talk about we're gonna let people go ahead and destroy us and tear us apart because of race, and that was direct. That was a team Paris. Yeah. That was a Team Paris move right there. Enemy of the state. Yes, it's all racist. It's all fucking racist.
All the time. Racism wants from take a day, a holiday, a minute, a second off.
No. It's all racist. It's all bad. Every fucking thing is racist. It has something to do with some racism or some shit. We can look at it, man. Eyes so fucking wide open. And if you got your black eyes on, they're extremely wide open, right? You're listening for fucking actual fucking words, or you're seeing actual actions take place right in front of you with alleged allies just showing their racism. And they think they're on code. They think they're with you. Or they're pretending like they think they're with you. But really, you're their only black friend they're tokenizing. They don't want to accept that answer either. Right? Or we're assholes because we're especially me. Can't take no pictures, man. You got to do something if you want to capitalize off my shames. Pay me. Remember I said that in my house? And motherfuckers got irate?
Yeah.
I was like, no, you're not going to capitalize on my shames and fucking malfunction because this bad thing happened to me and you want me to do your motherfucking dirty work? Fuck you, pay me. Why? Because if people are capitalizing on something terrible.
Yeah.
Black shame, black pain, black agony, black death, anything fucking dysfunctional that has to do with black people, they capitalize on it and they make their money and they shame us in the process of doing it. And we just think they're trying to be supportive. But in reality, family, understand this, overstand it if you must. They just making a way off of our shit that they caused us to have. So know that. They ain't paying you for it. Just because they put their hand on your shoulder does not mean they're with you, because tokenizing you.
Right.
We're their tokens. We're what they use to get everything they want. And when they're done, go ahead and put us back out there and talk to us sweet and shit. So we think that they still like us and we're doing the right thing and we're still there. And we have the audacity to question why it keeps happening.
Well, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, at least for the past 60 years.
Right.
Thinking that you're going to get a different result.
Right.
That's insanity.
That's why you got to escape. You free yourself. That's why I'm like, man, free yourself from my ideas, blah, 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 blah. Even if it sounds kind of weird or whatever, I don't free myself. So when I see it, if I tell you, man, you got to see it like this, it's because I came to that realization. I have to tell Jesse, don't let them take pictures of you doing work, because not only are they taking from you, now you're taking your fucking image and placing it on the shit. And you're there. He could be fucking right there. We see it all the time on the news with Jesse, right? He'll be doing some outright shit, right? Like the last time, check that out. Last time you were up there with the reimagined task force, that little press conference on the steps, right? And they kept asking, like, they wouldn't let you talk.
Yeah.
Right? But they kept like kind of like body blocking you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time the news was filming you right there. You stood out of everybody.
Yeah.
Right there. Just could not take their fucking eyes off you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? Did anybody say anything to Jesse? No? Except for me, obviously. I'm like, hey, look at you on TV, not talking. But I saw the actual video because Jesse was holding the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I was like physical blocking. Like no one gonna let him talk. I know because I was on the live trying to type in the phone. And then we see him on the camera. You see him standing there advocating, fucking being an activist for whatever the fuck he was activating for, right? I don't remember. But whatever the fuck it was, right? Which is every day. There you were. Right? Just like they showed the fucking Elijah McClain shit.
Oh, that's our next topic. Perfect.
Right. I'm gonna leave that. Protesting, right? And there's you doing some crazy shit. I can't point it out, right? But you're right there. I was like, you know what? There you go, Jesse right there. I could point out easily 6 protests or 6 somethings easily right now off the top of my head. And I'd be like, there's Jesse. Like, where's Waldo?
Remember the nemesis kept saying, we never see you.
Dude, that's a fucking goddamn lie. Cuz I see you more than I've ever seen him.
Right.
And let's keep it very real. In Park Hill, I seen the negatives. The east side, I see the real negatives of that motherfucker. So you really want to keep it real. This motherfucker right here got all the motherfucking secrets stored up. So I would just stop fucking with Jesse and or me and just start putting some respect on us, guys.
Like,
but shit we fucking went through. Or no, you would think wisely to stop fucking with people.
Right.
No, it's not a lie. Don't make me pull the cards, especially with recent shit. But that motherfucker's just stupid. Like they did, like they intentionally fucking with you on your Jerry Springer show, right? And then they put you on blast, right? And you're the only one they do it to, and nobody sees it, and nobody stands up for it. And like it causes a little stuff, but I can't have it because ultimately, that's like them fucking with me. You see what I'm saying? If you're one unit and you move and think in the same mindset and is constructive, fucking we're fighting racism, white supremacy, and fucking we're on the Black First agenda. Tangible, no vote. Reparations, no vote. Motherfucking reparations, deportation, whatever. Right? If we're on that, on a Black First agenda, that means we're all the way on that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. There is no one facing the fucking traumas of the world by himself. If you're on code, you can't let that happen. It's not in the design of the code. You know what I mean? Ultimately, it's in the words of unification and getting together as a one fucking.
What's she talking about?
One lineage,
what
fucking
the hell
foundation.
She thinks she know?
Yeah. What the fuck do I know, right? I read. Been reading since I was a little girl, though. Reading's fundamental.
Okay, so final closings on this hair situation in Texas.
The Crown Act in any state now was intentionally meant for Black Americans, but the language was never stated as for Black Americans because people who made the Crown Act wrote it too afraid to make that language specifically for Black Americans. That's the problem. Because nothing will get passed if it's specifically for Black Americans until there's like a fucking mass group fucking rise up inside these specific portions of legislation. Right? So because the language was ambiguous, it left it open for other people, OTBs other than Black, to come in and perverse something that was meant for Black men and women to protect their fucking hair. Why? Because unbeknownst to everybody who is OTB other than Black, You don't understand that Black people go through a lot of fucking stress during the day. They have heavy lives. And not only that, they're subjected to going outside where all the pollutants and elements are. They fucking destroy your hair. But internally, your own personal shit will cause your hair to fall out, break off, and be fucked off because you're so overwhelmed and stressed out from just being Black in America. Triple K, just barely. Just being Black in America will cause you to fucking have whole fucking hair issues. And because we weren't, you me, right, weren't educated on how to take care of your hair right. You're the program to think it was ugly and it was fucked up, and somebody would be able to tease you about it. So then you learn this other shit, perms and fucking burning it out, and white is right, and fucking straighter is greater, whatever the fuck. And so you couldn't even have your natural shit. You're not allowed to have shit when you're Black. That's the reality.
Yep, that's the reality.
That's the reality. So covering it and protecting it like the ladies like to do, so that they keep whatever they got left from the fucking day-to-day stresses of being Black in America. Men just try to keep whatever they got just so they can feel like men. You're not allowed to have that. And because nobody is fed on the balls to put it specifically in the language, this is why that happens. And because that lady's on some old coon shit, kumbaya, and being inclusive, she placed her son in an active war zone.
Way, right.
So he's asking,
where the hell is the goddamn daddy?
Yeah, in 2023, right?
I'm the pappy. Where the pappy at?
You know what I mean? Right. And she put him in the line of fire in the middle of a war. Yeah. We're in a race war, family. Been in one. Yep. We've been in one. So the little man's asking the dumbest questions, but it's her fault.
Because he got a coon-ass mama.
Because she wasn't educated, or she chose to be on some old feminine shit, or she on some cool shit. Yeah. She's a mammy. She doing something else, but she fucking off a future king. And now you're gonna grow up probably having what is Jason Blacc say? Interracial fucking relations. What do you say?
Interracial sexual activities.
Interracial sexual activities. Yeah. Yeah, that's the same kind of kid that'll bring a white girl home. And she probably ate bologna sandwiches at school too. Just cause. Hey, y'all letting it happen. You know, you're still how stupid this is too. Let me just tell you about my critical break. This bitch, they're paying taxes. Every city pays taxes for the free lunch program. Thank you, Black Panthers. Right? Thank you, Black Panthers. And this bitch you're still not able to afford a hot meal because you're a lie. That is a lie. Shame the devil. That is a motherfucking lie. He should be able to eat if that's the only meal he gets a day. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
From what the Panthers said. Wake up, Shabaka. Let's ask. Right? From the Panthers, cuz the free lunch meal, if that was the only meal they could get at school, a hot meal, it's supposed to be free. Right? Free lunch, free fucking food program. That was if that was the only, I quote, if that was the only meal they had, let it be free. And it was free to them. Taxpayers paid for it. So why the fuck she even say she can't afford it? What the fuck is wrong with her? Yeah, you can afford it. They've been paying for it. Your tax money, your money is paying for him to have a fucking education, and not only to have an education at that school, but him to have fucking free fucking breakfast or lunch.
If she qualifies, or
that's a lie. It's already there. She can have it. She don't want it.
She might make too much to qualify, though.
What happened? Look, Black family. Why don't you lie? Fuck it, just start out with that. Why don't you just do what you have to do? Just listen. It's obviously whatever. I might have to feed my kid by any means necessary.
They probably worship white Jesus. Like, this is so
no, listen. Integrity has never really got us anywhere. Sometimes too transparent has only fucked us. See what I'm saying? Telling the truth has only fucked us sometimes versus just acting like they do and fill out the motherfucking paperwork and submit it so that my kid, my growing son, my son can grow into a man at a pinnacle time of life at 17. He's still growing. I'm gonna deprive my son not only of the fucking choice of being a black man in America, of how to take care of himself. Let him grow his hair out, only so he can be humiliated, right? But I'm also gonna deprive him of fucking food and nutrients that'll help his body grow, keep his lustrous fucking mane growing the way it is. I'm gonna continue to fuck him off. Nah, there's something wrong with this bride.
Clearly.
That's a critical reason. Before you start feeling sorry for somebody, because we made that mistake how many times, cuz? When we were felt sorry for a motherfucker, we had to really do the thinking, calling to find out they was lying to us. Yeah. But they wouldn't ask the real questions. You see what I'm saying? But they got the media all in their face. And then we ended up looking like, well, you backed that. And then so we had to start redoing, we had to start doing real vetting, remember?
Yeah.
And how fucking upset was that? To find out this, oh my God. You know what I mean? We went there, stood up. We were right there. You saw us right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Shout out Ayante. You know, just saying. You don't got to talk about it. I'm just saying. Where's the great stuff? But that right there, look at that. In Texas.
He definitely won't become a House of Representative.
Nah, he's stupid. You should just continue to keep your job, because if it's for life, how long can he be the director?
I think he might be coming up to term.
Oh, so like he can't do it ever again, huh? What's next after director?
Usually city council or something city related.
So he's just gonna shoot past the local and go into the house.
Yeah.
You got real dreams of grandeur right there. That's delusional thinking.
No, you know what it is?
That's stupid.
He gonna pull Elizabeth Epps. Except Elizabeth Epps wasn't on the school board. She was actually out here in the trenches with people.
Look. Just because you start doing some activist type work lately, standing up for shit during the last couple months of your tenure, does not mean you're the shit. You're still a mark. You did some mark shit. That's some fucked up shit.
The historic 8 and the Congressional Black Caucus don't do nothing tangible for us.
No. I can't take it seriously from a buck broken ass individual either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that because what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? What does anybody do when they see me? Nothing.
Run.
They really don't do shit. They really give me dirty looks and they keep pushing. They don't do shit. As a matter of fact, the whole energy changes when Jesse comes by himself. But when Jesse brings Brandy, it's really bad because then they don't really want to get too loud. And the motherfuckers do feel super empowered when we're around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Kind of. Or they get really stupid. It can go either way.
Yeah.
But I can't be held accountable. Well, no. I refuse for you to hold me accountable for me acting out.
Oh, well, we appreciate you, Deacon, on there in the censor. Everybody done passed out, I guess.
So
all viewers are from sleep.
That's normal. I'm surprised we have any viewers at 1 o'clock.
So we got it's almost 2 o'clock. So we got Elijah McClain next. So RIP to RIP to our young brother Elijah McClain, who was taken from us 4 years ago. A little over 4 years now. Yeah.
Shout out to his grandmama.
Yeah. She lives in my father's building on the Dahlia Square. Linda. But his mama is a coon.
Right.
I just gotta let that very apparently
said I
know.
could go.
And the nemesis tried to extort her.
Yep. He sure did. But I'll just say this. Linda wanted to kidnap me. She said I could go.
Mm-hmm.
She said she'd feed me and water me like a plant.
Yeah, I haven't seen Linda in a while now.
She's probably checking her heart.
Say about like 6 months.
Yeah, how the fuck you not been checking on Anybody? What do you go over there?
I did go the last time I was to knock her something.
But you saw the video where his mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, yeah, that lady's. Mama, not the mama, the grandmama.
Definitely so shout out. McClain was killed. The police and medics while walking home or in North the world because he masked. We all the goddamn
Yeah, and somebody
they're looking for.
carried her because racist. Want to say this is suspicious.
Just somebody suspicious. That's what they did with Trayvon Martin.
Yeah. Unnecessary, man. It's really, really sad. I think stuff like that happens in the world. Really does bother me more than ever so much.
Yes. Statements in Elijah McClain's trial 4 years.
4 years later.
And only 2 other people were responsible for death or even being the APDs that were responsible for majority of his death, and then damn shot him up with. I mean, the trial was finally. Play the clip of that.
Did they mean this?
For horses.
I mean, it's like a initially animal tranquilizer, and they whatever the video. I don't get the video of the educational. It started being used, and that shit good.
What are you doing, human being? Let alone
because now it's not for use, everybody. It's not just for it's for everybody. And they treat them like animals, so everybody. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Hotspot died.
Videos with the white lights on.
Yeah, the computer done froze.
Things live at Brian Flores.
I'm Mackenzie. Keep in for Michelle Grant this morning. And the opening statements are expected trial for 2 officers accused in the death.
Men are facing charges including criminal and assault, as well as causing serious bodily injury in connection. Our Kennedy could the Adams County Courthouse. When do we expect statements to start?
Fuck them.